So, during our last long rest, we found ourselves setting the scene for our new adventure in the land of Kelmont, a place ravelled with mystery and optimism, a land known for its vast arcana and its even more vast wildlife. Here in this land, it is not the politics of civilizations that causes each other problems, no. Here, people function as a group to be able to survive the vast and difficult terrain and the wild surges of life that pop up here. And our adventure began in the city of Crestfall, a humble town pulled together and now mainly seen to as a place where adventurers go to become part of the guild known as Crestfallen Guild. Our adventures all gathered here through different motives, whatever it was that brought them all to the main plaza of Crestfall, surrounding a large stone wood tree with beautiful blue-tinted leaves. Here is where chaos set loose, as one of the far buildings, a bank in this small town, lit up in a ball of flames and very quickly became this epicenter of an explosion, of which a owlbear, ridden by two goblins, ruptured out of the building. Stone and debris flew across the terrain and civilians were harmed all over the place. Our adventurers were somewhat quick to react and others were quick to help those in need. Chasing down the owlbear and the two goblins was a quick feat for some of our more established hunters and fighters, whilst the others sat back and helped those in need bring themselves up to their feet. We got to know our cast and how they are all individually different from one another. Celwydd, who is one of the many, well, I suppose, two travelling bards, musicians of the group. Hjarlgron, a large giant from the Frost. Doi, who seems to be a small robotic friend that many people pester an eye to, since it is not common to see this type of folk around here by any means. Intrigue fills the room around him. Ambrose, a flamboyant bard who seems to be looking for the next tall tale. Eldrith, a most intrigued and inquisitive mind. And Pierce, a keen observation for gold and desires for possibly a more prospective life. As all our cast joins together and took care of this ordeal, they were met by the leader of the Crestfallen Guild. Oh, yeah, I also forgot Syldia, my bad. And, Syldia, the old woman who also seems to have a knack for protecting the group, as well as a more sharp edge to her care. Moving on. After dealing with the goblin and the goblins and the owlbear through a good team effort, they were met with Gormak, the leader of the guild of the Crestfallen. He mentioned that these attacks have happened quite frequently, although by means that seem quite odd. Much to how Eldrith figured out, a owlbear of that size being able to walk into this bank-like building would be easily noticed by all of the different soldiers and guards around, and the explosion was also of arcane substance. So something else is going on behind the scenes of all of these different attacks. Gormak decided to let our adventurers in on a job. He said that he would offer them a vast amount of gold if he was able to come to the bottom of all of this problem, figure out where these goblins are getting their weapons and armaments, how they're creating these attacks without anyone in the city being able to spot them, and what it is that they're seeking and putting an end to it. He said that if they were able to do all of those things, he would reward them with a vast bounty of 400 gold to split amongst the party. He also mentioned that there's plenty of other odd jobs and that they've got a spot for them if they so wish to have it in the Crestfallen Guild. But majority of our adventurers were more intrigued at the case in hand. So, setting themselves together and putting a very quick step-by-step plan to proceed with whatever this plan is going to be, they started thinking about how they can come up with a solution to this problem. Golmak told them that there was a keep off in the Crept Woods where all of these goblins are probably setting their residence and planning all of these different attacks from. So the group split up and decided that they would go on their different ways to find any information they can before rendezvousing and heading off to finding the keeps in the Crept Woods. So, with that being said, let's bring ourselves over to Crestfall so that we can continue our small adventure. So, as you know, we are on the first day of autumn, surrounded by beautiful autumn colors and a half-destroyed and a bit uneasy, and a bit of an uneasy environment around Crestfall as an explosion of an attack just happened. People are obviously keeping themselves at home, and other adventurers and soldiers from the Crestfallen Guild are scouting out to make sure everyone else is safe. Some of you opted to go out and do some of your own personal matters. Others decided to go to the large castle of the Crestfallen Guild to find out more information, and the rest of you decided to go to the library. So, for matter of speed, we'll go from quickest to slowest, so Hjarlgron. As you step outside of the town carrying an owlbear and 2 goblins on your back, one of them skinned and poached for its goods, and the other 2 goblins in pieces from the combat that just occurred, you set yourself outside of Crestfall. Not too far, just a couple of minutes walk into the nearby large plateaus, and you begin setting up a fire. What is it that you would like to do?
Yeah, no, just the traditional setting of the pyre, and then just tributing the kills that we've made.
Very well. You set up a sizable bonfire that begins to scream a loud flame. The flame flickers in an orange and yellow light. You gather your kills and you start placing them onto the fire to sacrifice them. Any thoughts or prayers that might be spared?
No.
No prayers thought, no words spoken. You sit and contemplate as the flames consume your hunt. The flames rage, and eventually the bodies of the goblins and the old owlbear slowly but surely turn to ash, turning the fire to a tinted, yet ever so faint green.
Notice the tent nods towards the fire and gets up and goes away.
You leave the fire to finish off its last remains, knowing that your job here is done, and you turn back towards the city of Crestfall. People still ogling eyes at you as you walk past them. When you return to Crestfall,
I'm going to try and find just anyone who might know where a place to research would be. Just pull anyone. Not going to pull them, but just like if I see someone walking my way, I'll just like stop them if I can.
very, very easily, you manage to spot someone who's basically staring at you with the wide eyes. And you walk up to them. He kind of doesn't panic, but he kind of gulps and he looks up to you. Is there anything I can help you with?
I need to find the place where I can do the research. Going into Crept Woods.
For the land? I'm assuming Navarro will probably have enough knowledge, or you could always try the Crestfallen Guild House. And he points to the large castle in the back. I'm sure they might have any knowledge around the surroundings here.
Thank you. Give a nod, and then make my way to the large building that you pointed towards.
Very well. Head towards the Crestfallen Castle. Meanwhile, someone who might already be there is Pierce, who made his way there quick after dealing with the goblins and owlbears. He thought it would be a wise idea to head to the Crestfallen Castle to be able to look at the bounty board and maybe get some other information. So, Piers, as you make your way through Crestfall and weave your way in between different houses and people, you eventually walk past the archway and this large statue of some sort of human-looking person holding a blade and a shield that has the icon of the tree on its center, probably to commemorate some hero of this town a long time ago. Behind it sits proudly, but rustically, a large castle, or more of a keep, perhaps. And you find yourself in Crestfallen Castle. People wander the streets and torches still flicker the sides, but the people that are on the inside of the Crestfall Guild Keep aren't exactly your standard civilians. All of them hold some sort of weapon, or perhaps a book or two at their hip. Cloaks and armors fill their person, and some of them walk alone and others walk in groups. Conversations are traded, lights flicker, and as you walk into the open doors of the Crestfallen Guild, the two large, old, rustic wooden doors screech open. Looking to the sky, you notice that once you enter the inside of the Crestfallen Guild Keep, it seems to have a constant state of twilight. Although it is daytime outside, on the inside, the keep seems to always be at night, bathed in the nice light of Hjarlgron. You also notice small twinkling lights that resemble like that of stars floating around. What would you like to do?
Okay. Interesting. Nighttime is definitely business time, so let's make this work. I gotta go get in. I just want to check the bounty board, so if there's a bigger bounty, I can ditch this mob of freaks. Okay. Okay, Pierce, let's go find the bounty board.
You shift your way through several dozen adventurers. Races and statures of all kinds, from small rock gnomes to tall dragonborns, walk around in sets of armor and robes, conversing, trading, whatever else it may be. Quite obviously, in the center of what seems to be this beautiful castle is a large and proud bounty board made of stone, to which many pieces of parchment are stuck on by hammered nails into the large stone board. Many different pieces of parchment scroll here. Other people are also surrounding it and looking at what they could pick from. You walk up to the bounty board, walk past the other people that are surrounding it, and begin browsing through. What you see is
bounty board.
Ooh, bounty
you
board!
see from many things, from basic, easy jobs that pay a couple of silver or a couple of copper, from helping people move sacks of potatoes from one place to another. Very basic, low-end jobs. That could be walking dogs or anything of that kind, ranging all the way to large hunts. A couple that catch your eye, maybe through interest or through just sheer bounty, is one of them mentions that in the far southern reaches, closer to Wyvern's Bridge, there appears to be some issues going on with kobolds, saying that there are large packs of kobolds that are beginning to gather and create large fires. They're not entirely sure what is going on, but there appear to be frequent burnings in the crept woods near Noonrin. The villagers are starting to get worried, as there's some sort of creature burning down the forest, or perhaps packs of kobolds. Although there have been no sightings of wyverns or dragons recently, it would be wise to look into this before Noonrin ends up burnt as well. The people of Noonrin are slightly, out of pocket, but they're offering 70 golden pieces and free meals at any of Noonrin's inns for the rest of the time. Another one that seems to pick up your interest is another one titled Vertigo. Pepin, who lives here in Crestfall, is the only griffin handler in Mistral. He needs some help for someone to go up into Griffin's Roost. He claims that it is a season now where griffins begin to lay their eggs, and he needs at least 2 for his next hatch that he can begin to train. Griffins are used for many things in Kelmont, from guarding to email sending to whatever else form of letter sending that they may need, or trading
email
goods.
Sending?
I suppose I meant mail. Mail sending throughout different cities or trading of goods. Griffins are a bountiful use, and Tepin is the only person that seems to know how to take care of them in Kelmont. He wants a group of people to take on a very risky job that could lie in death at the end of it, to go up to Griffin's Roost and pick up an egg. Specifically, a spotted grey griffin egg, as these tend to be female, he clarifies. He says that it'll most likely end in death, but if you do want to help him and challenge yourself for it, he would be more than happy to reward you as an individual with 220 gold pieces. Another,
that requires a group.
Another
That
one
requires a group.
says, is titled Manic Murder in Millwood. Millwood, generally known for its comfort, peace, and joy, is having some bloody occurrences. Eviscerated bodies are turning up every week, each more savage than the last. The local guard is basically non-existent, and they are basically farmers holding a blade. They're trying their best to find out whatever creature is doing this, but every single trail seems to run cold. The local guard and lead of this is asking for help. A reward for this is an assortment of brewing materials and a potion of healing.
Information gathering is something I can do.
And then last but not least, one of the large hunts that takes your interest says, the Crestfallen Guild has put up a job for a large hunt. The creature seems to belong to the owlbear family and has recently appeared since the occurrences from the people attacking the town. Or so the beast hunters believe. It appears to be draining the life of nature wherever it is living. There are withered trees, dried up animal corpses, and even light itself seems obscured in certain areas, as if the owlbear is capable of draining light itself. It will take a good group of hunters to bring it down, and as evidence we must bring back a trophy. The reward is 200 golden pieces.
Now, if I can convince that big guy that I met up with earlier to come with me on this one. I mean, he can handle an owlbear by himself. Alright, let me grab those last 2 for Millwood and the owlbear hunt.
What was the reward for the last one?
200 golden pieces, and obviously the trophy from the owlbear.
Okay.
Which for people in Crestfallen Guild is a large title.
Nice. Okay. I've transcribed everything that you just said.
I do have it, and I will put it. And
Yeah, if you want to copy and paste those.
I'll update your adventuring log with the 2 that you've picked
Yippee!
T1.
But most of these require a stupid group. Great. Well, I'm stuck with these poses for now. Is there a tavern around here, or am I standing in it?
There is not exactly another building that is a tavern, but if you do look around, you can see in the distance a bar that is kind of formed into the side of the rustic old stone walls. And it's basically just a large table, a couple of stools, and a couple of barkeeps that are pouring what seems to be basic mead for adventurers here. Probably a place designed for conversing and talking about jobs and getting together for a quick relax before you head off on a hunt.
Well, if I don't want to die to a death by 1,000 goblin stabs, I'm gonna head into the tavern over there and keep my ear out for anybody that talks about the Crestwoods and goblins, anything like that. If they do start talking, then I'll start to see if I can join in the conversation.
Very well. Roll me a perception check to see how well we can sit down and start, hearing people out, any conversations that are happening.
Perception check.
Ooh, with a 9.
Oh,
you sit yourself down. You give yourself plenty of time.
The
Until you need
+5,
to
that sucks.
But you sit yourself down. You give yourself some time. You hear a couple of creeping conversations. You hear some of them mention. Seems that there's a lot more people walking into Crestfall these days. Which the other person would answer. I imagine it's a lot of the refugees that are coming over from Visalia. After all, you know what happened there, right? Yeah, I heard. Something about the Ivory March, but I thought those were all kids' tales. Not as far as I'm concerned. Hundreds of boats have been arriving at the docks of every continent on Equin. Refugees seeking places to hide away from the Ivory March, they say. An entire continent gone. Just like that. Do you think it'll come for us next? I don't believe it. Surely not. But many other conversations aren't any intriguing to you.
Alright, I'll make opportunity then. Do we see the Royal We? Wow, okay. Is there a specifically a hunter-gatherer sort of group on any of these tables?
You could very easily perceive that any of these people could be hunters or gatherers or adventurers. They all look like it.
Okay. I guess I'm looking for more of the beefier characters.
Yeah. It would be easily done. You could definitely find a character that fits that description around here.
I'm going to approach that table.
Very well. As you approach, you hear them discussing. Man! I've just seen the new quest that they put up for hunting that big old owlbear. I've got my eyes set on that. I bet my trophy fit right between that one over there, next to the big worm. And he points over to a large wall decorated with the heads of many different hunts, ranging from wyverns to worms to owlbears to all sorts of other creatures. That'll probably get me up in the guild ranking. Could do with some more gold in my pocket. He notices you approach and turns to you. This large fella is a dragonborn of dark scales with almost golden yellow eyes. He turns to you, donned in very heavy iron armor, and a sword at his side and a shield at the back of the chair. Well, fresh blood, huh? Looking to join the guild?
New in town. I don't lie. The guild is interesting from what I've seen so far.
Well, if you like gold and you like fame and fortune, no better place to be.
Was it ever put up on the board, the quest to go into the Crypt Woods to see something about a goblin problem as well?
Yeah. Not much of a request as much as Gulmak's obsession at the moment. He's looking for people to go in. No one's willing to pick up the job. A couple of goblins in a keep
Gulmak,
could be
that's his name.
Could be pretty dangerous. I mean,
how bad could a couple of goblins be?
well, me and Milo could probably go in and sort them out with relative ease, but hey, it just isn't good enough. They want us to clear out a keep full of goblins for 50 gold each. There's only 4 of us.
It is true. I mean, what sort of dangers can you run into there?
It's the old Grim Keep, as far as I'm aware. That thing's been out of service for a while. Goblins,
Grim Keep,
hobgoblins, bugbears, owlbears. God knows what else.
What was the Grim Keep? I'm sorry, I'm new around here.
Oh, it's, he scratches his head. I think it used to be one of the outposts that the guild used for scouting the crept woods. Got overrun a while back by some creatures. Never took it back. Every now and again, Gulmak sends scout parties to pick up some resources from there. Old weapons, food, etc.
Isn't those parties still around here?
I don't think so. I think Gulmak has stopped sending anyone over there. He's just put up a bounty for it and no one's taken it. Well, the people that did haven't come back. He sent 2 other parties for it. Not a single one of them has returned.
Sounds like fun.
Could be.
Tell me, what's your experience with, like, goblins and stuff?
Looks to the rest of his party members and looks back to you. Sure, I mean, killed a couple of them on the road when they attacked our wagon. Small, fiddly little creatures. Slippery and slimy as well. Can't pack much of a punch.
Okay, so hard to get your hands on. Slippery, slimy, can't get away quite easily. And they're also attacking groups, as far as I know, right?
Oh yeah, you'll never find a goblin by itself. And if you do, probably means he's leading you to some sort of trap.
Good to know. Haven't running into you. Sorry, still flustered from the travel. Haven't run into any exploits on your journey as well? No sort of, like, break-up to their flow or anything like that? Anything that would get them distracted?
He shakes his head. Couldn't tell you. I'm much more for hunting beasts and monsters than I am for goblins and them kind.
Ah, so you are interested in that owlbear hunt later?
Oh, yeah. Me and my group have got our eyes on it. Gonna start prepping, probably have a good meal, a good rest, stretches. Set off in the morning.
I don't know. Might be easy to take the keep quest. I mean, an owlbear that just drains life.
Sounds like more money in my pocket.
A fighting spirit.
He smiles with a toothy grin.
Okay. Well, sorry about all the questioning.
No, of course. Don't mind it. Once a crestfallen, always a crestfallen.
Right. Oh, sorry, do we have to, like... Okay, we were asked by Gulmak. Did you see earlier, like, the big explosion by the bank?
Yeah. We helped Gulmak clear out the other side.
Do we have to, like, report that to somebody to, like, get up in the gold rankings or anything like that?
Oh, you'd have to join first. And then Gulmak will probably take care of the rest if you've spoken to him.
I mean, we've talked to him already. He's the one that offered us to go to Grim Keep. Relatively new. Bunch of people just got together. Gonna go sort it out. Barely know anyone. You've probably been in this situation before.
Yeah, well, I met all of these in a couple of cages when we were fighting out from a group of kobolds that took us all prisoners from a caravan. Stuck together ever since.
Caravan? Where do you know where you were heading?
This was years ago, mate.
Never known goblins to kidnap people.
No, kobolds. Some sort of
Kobolds.
sacrifice to
dragon
some
folk.
Dragon god or something. I don't know.
Dragon god.
Shakes his shoulders. Doesn't seem to really care much for it, doesn't he?
Okay. Well, gentlemen, all the best.
Lots at you. Yeah, see you around.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. Turn around. My jovial expression that I tried to put on for the act that I was trying to put on just drops. Just try to make nice. Nothing there. If I want, okay, probably sort it out. I'm gonna go find Gormak. Seeing as that this place hasn't been any help to me. If you want to cut you with the other group while they sort out their stuff first and come back, then yeah.
Will do. Very well. As you go around looking at the rest of the Crestfall and Guild Keep, we shall head over to the rest of the party, who instead is finding themselves in Crestfall, looking for a small but humble dome-like building on the outskirts of the city, looking for someone that goes by the name of Inavaris. Wandering through the streets for the rest of you guys does not take you long. Eventually, you find yourselves at the entrance to Crestfall and the large, very much as described, dome, humble, greenhouse-like building that has a glass roof, a stone wall, and several botanic-like plants lining the walls on the outside. Plenty of people are walking in and out with either some sort of reagents of plants or scrolls or books of any kind, and the door remains wide open. What do you all do?
This looks like the place. Are you muted, Reece?
I was like triple muted there. I'd muted everything. Okay. Ambrose is going to turn to Eldrith and, well, you would know your libraries from your observatories, wouldn't you?
I would. Most of them are one and the same. Well,
They are.
most.
That's a good point. Well, would you like to lead the way, since you clearly know what you're looking for?
Is there a place or a spot that looks like where the Ivanaris would be?
Right.
Kind of like a front desk or a big room, like a
Sure. Walking into the large dome building, it's like walking into a butterfly house. Huge amounts of natural light fill this room. Several plants are wildly growing across the walls and over wooden vines that have been formed for them specifically, holding some large tomes and scrolls. Plants seem to be the example for bookcases in this place, as it seems to be causing a mix between nature and research. Amongst all of the nature that is overgrowing here, in the distance, you can see what looks like a circular table. On it, there are a couple of books, some files, and other random herbal reagents scattered across different pots made out of clay and wood. Working at them and reading through tomes of many kinds seems to be the woman that you're looking for. Inavaris, a young, half-Furbolg woman, in her early years from what you can tell. She wears a confident look at all times, filled with intrigue. You can normally find her deep within the library and where she is, and the fountain of knowledge and research. She seems to be very interested in having conversations with people about anything that she can be told. Adventures, new plants, new knowledge, areas, anything. A bubbly personality appears to fill the room, and a smile is almost contagious. She has a light blue and white stained hair color that curls and drapes down to the ground, and wears these large green fluff robes. I shall show you Inavaris.
Oh shit, we are an image?
Art time, art time.
Where is she?
Where are ye?
Oh god, this again.
Oh!
A rarity to see someone known as a half-Furbolg in these lands, but one nonetheless. How do you approach?
I point first. There she is. Well, Ambrose? Nothing? No questions?
Well, I
Nothing
don't
to
know.
add?
You're the one in here looking for something.
Well, yeah, you should speak to her, shouldn't you?
I mean, she.
Well, I just thought maybe you had
Must
something
know.
to ask yourself.
No, I'm just following you because I'm intrigued what you're doing. If you don't mind me hovering over your shoulder, that is. I'm a little bit, intrigued by the wizardy things.
No, I don't mind. Just he kind of like pushes you an eensy bit with like his index finger. Some space.
Of course. And proceeds to hover about 2 inches over your shoulder.
That's fine. That's fine. Nothing he can do. Nothing he can do now. He's trying. I'm gonna walk up and just ask, would you happen to be in Avaris?
She looks up from the tome that she's reading. She closes it. She passes the tome over to her side, and a vine of a plant picks the book off of her and then places it back on the shelf. And she looks to you. She stares at you for a split second and then approaches her face almost 5 inches away from yours and stares into your eyes. Her expressions are exaggerated like those of Fulborg, a red and cutish buttoned nose with large lips, a long set of colourful hair, and long, droopy, pointy ears. All of the sets of a Fulborg, but with the appearance of a human. You have eyes that look just like the stars, you know. She stares at them.
Do I? I'm gonna turn to Ambrose and holy crap, I forgot Amy's name.
Celwydd.
Celwydd, there you go, yeah. Do I have eyes that look like stars? And then he's gonna whip his head back to Innovaris.
And Ambrose is sort of like is about to like peer in, and then he turns his head away, and you just say, "Oh, well, I was going to check."
You all must be shooting for the explosion that just happened. She gives you the personal space again and sits back down on her chair. You all look like the adventuring folk, or at least kind of like them. She giggles.
Well, you're not wrong. I am here to
Yeah, I
inquire
guess
about
so.
the explosion and how we may help. Also, was that plant you're doing?
All of the plants here am I doing. They all tend to me, and I tend to them.
He starts scribbling away on his little notepad, on his booklet again. Hmm? I'm guessing that's what you specialize in.
Yeah, I suppose you could say that. Some people call it druidcraft, and other people call it shamanic rituals, but I think it's all the same, really.
He nods along for a bit. Well, pardon me for my rudeness. My name is Eldrith, and I would introduce my acquaintances, but I think they can do it themselves. And he gestures towards his friends.
Kind of glance over at Ambrose, see if he wants to go first.
He's glancing at both of you like, hello? Speak.
You're embarrassing the magic man.
Just
Come
sort of-
on.
just sort of slow, sort of bow the head and. I'm sorry. What was the question? I was trying to look into your eyes.
Introductions, Ambrose.
Oh, of course. I'm Ambrose, and then he just passes a hand over to Celwydd.
And I'm Celwydd. I'm just passing through, and I do a little like curtsy and bow my head.
What an interesting group. I'm in Avaris, Blue Bolt, to be precise. A half-Furbolg.
Interesting.
She notices that behind you, probably wondering at the nature, I'm assuming, Doi, you who followed, probably also
Oh,
wondering.
doy.
Yeah, he's just observing everything, just in amazement.
She crawls over the table, past the three of you, and walks up to the little clunk of metal rolling around in her workplace. And what might you be? You're not really the make of the same that I've seen before. You're nothing like Straw. You're slightly different. She starts, like, looking at your metal plating and starts kind of, like, lifting things and moving things. Definitely not of the ones that I can remember from Cabal making.
As she's inspecting me, I say, God, I am Doi. It brings them joy.
Oh. Now, there's a speech pattern as well, not quite as advanced as Cabal's. You mustn't be built by him. A rarity. Where did you pick this thing up? And he, like, pats Doi on the head as she stands up and looks to the three of you.
Well,
I wouldn't say picked him up. He kind of just joined the rest of us in stopping some goblins.
yes.
He's not
rather
yours,
than
is he?
pick up.
Sort of
No,
looks at Eldrith.
no. I've scarcely seen anything like him. Adorable, but useful.
Free will, then, you say?
What was that?
Self-thought? Doi, can you think for yourself?
Yes.
Interesting. How curious. Well, you all have me most intrigued. I'm assuming you were looking for something in particular when you arrived here?
Yes, Gulmak said that you could assist us in approaching, and he does air quotes with his fingers, the Grim Keep.
Golmak always sends all of them my way. It's about time that they tried to employ a researcher of their own in that big old castle. Well,
It's either that, or you just proved to be far too useful, and... Oh god, the English word just escaped my brain. It's either maybe you've just proved yourself far too useful and resourceful for them to find just a simple alternative.
well, I do like reading. Grimkeep Castle. Well, I mean, it was an old resource outpost a long time ago for Crestfall. Used to keep an eye out on the crept woods. Since then, it got overrun by goblins a long, long time ago.
Would you happen to have any old maps or blueprints, layouts of this keep?
Blueprints, layouts. Oh, it's possible. You see a couple of vines begin to uproot from the ground and begin shifting through tomes in the upper segments of this tall library. It could be that I have something for you. It would be hard to find something of that nature at this point. I mean, the keep is pretty old, and who's to say what the goblins have done to it? But perhaps it could be done. And then you notice what appears to be kind of a carnivorous plant. Chomp down on a book, bring it down to Inavaris as she takes it from the maw of it. She pulls out a jar of what look like really big, plump flies, pulls out a jar of one of them, and shoves it in the mouth of the plant. That quickly snaps shut. Let's have a look then. She pulls out these tubes, unscrolls it, and brings out this large piece of parchment and rolls it out on the circular table I described earlier. It is a poorly kept sketch of architecture of the Grim Keep. Here we go. I mean, this was done 120 years ago, so I'm sure there's going to be some differences from when the architect built it. It was owned by a Dilman Rin. You can see it there, the signature at the top. But obviously his long but dead. Must have been a family keep for noble people a long time ago. Well, it's a square, seemingly normal architecture. It seems to have a large open plaza in the middle of the keep. She points at this large open space in the center. Probably a garden of some sort.
Or a training grounds for practice.
Oh, that could also make more sense since they were training soldiers. Okay, square walls, a moat with a bridge, 2 farmhouses on the extended sides. That's about it. seems that the room's split here into a large main hall, a master bedroom on the top of this tower, and a kitchen/utility room here. And then a couple of extra bedrooms down the left wing. Seems that the only entrance is from the front.
Are there any clear vulnerabilities in this design?
Well, it is designed purely as a square. It seems that a couple of lines were drawn in this chalk, and it says that the walls on the side of it says 20 foot in height. So it's not particularly super high. The moat is also designed on there. It seems to be roughly 30 feet in width, and the bridge, obviously, to match it. And then the tallest part of it is the tower, which is 60 feet tall.
So,
and the only opening appears to be from the front.
Outside of the front, are there any markings or spots on this map that could allude to a alternate entrance, either means of a trapdoor or a false wall?
If there were, they were not detailed on this sketch, either for secretive purposes or maybe there just wasn't.
Okay, cool. So our only option is to, and he traces his finger, not so roughly that it would tear the paper, the old yellow paper, but just, across the moat through the front of the bridge. So our only option is to the front.
Seems like it. I mean, the walls don't seem particularly high, and goblins aren't exactly known for their aim.
Still, enough goblins and enough arrows. It's still a danger.
I mean, who knows what the keep looks like at this point? There might be holes in the walls by now.
That's a good point. Do you happen to know what their favorite mode of defense was back in the day? Pitfalls, log traps,
whatever
spikes?
They were, they mustn't have been very effective. After all, the goblins managed to run it down. If there were any traps, they're definitely set off by now. And if they're new traps, then I'm guessing there's going to be goblin-kind traps.
Well, that's enough of the keep. Now that we know that it's simply a square with 20 feet high walls and a moat. Is there anything else to look out for in the... what's the name of the forest? Map?
Creptwoods.
Yeah, Creptwoods. Thank you, Aimee. Any other possible dangers in the Creptwoods?
She lets out a chuckle. Well, plenty. The keep seems to be the safest place, and that's filled with goblins. Crept Woods is right next to Mistero, the Lost Lands. Anything can come from there. Dragons, wyverns, bears, giants even, maybe, if you're lucky enough.
I like how she threw in bears next to those fucking monstrosities.
Next to giants and
Giants, dragons, drakes, bear.
Bears.
Oh,
There's the giant sun
Oh,
bears
yeah,
from
the bear.
Ring.
Oh, watch out for that fucking bear as the dragon incinerates my backline.
I love how you say
Tigers
this now, but fuck around and find out, okay?
You say that we're gonna encounter like a bear wizard who's gonna cast fireball
Exactly.
and wipe us. Like,
A bizzard, of course.
Local bear fucking incinerates my front line.
Not to mention...
An
Put the bear
unsigned
in there as like lion, tigers, and caterpillars. Oh my!
Oh dear.
Not to mention the likeliness of undead scrolling down from the Mistral Mountains.
Oh, oh my god.
Hmm.
Are they fairly common?
Well, people say that they hear about them every now and again. I mean, the Lost Lands, at this point, have all of the undead from the people that used to live there. Every now and
Are we
again,
talking
the
like
wandering
zombies?
souls find themselves walking around.
Were they brought back by somebody?
It's a good question. One that I wish one day I could have an answer to. Most likely case is, after we lost, well, the Lost Lands, assuming whatever manage took over it has left these spirits wandering limbo.
And undead are not entirely uncommon to raise by themselves.
Not in these lands.
Okay, but still, it's a very wide umbrella term. Are we talking skeletons? Are we talking like zombies? Whites? What are we thinking?
If I had to make an educated guess, I would say banshees, ghosts, specters.
Oh, fucking!
Oh, just
you
a
hear
normal
that,
thing.
Chibi?
Nah.
The incorporeal rather than the corporeal are most likely.
Oh.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
I see.
There are Arcana whites every now and again that do come past, but
What did you just say?
Arcana whites, the overcharged bodies of people that die to a surge of Arcana, and so their bodies move on as basically ticking time bombs of magic.
Arcana whites.
He just looks at Eldrith.
What?
If you die out there, that might be you.
It could be.
If I die out there, there could be 3 of me.
Could be a magic zombie.
Essentially, that is kind of how it works. But those are very rare sightings. Those only really happen to the people that go into the Lost Lands rather than the outskirts of them. As you can imagine, they don't really tend to have a long lifespan.
So,
Oh, right, so we'll be
They
fine then, because all we
only-
have to worry about are dragons.
Only the
so they only
possibility
occur
of them.
within the Lost Lands?
Yeah. The Lost Lands is probably the most magical place in all of Equin.
All of a sudden, me as a player, me as a player suddenly has a good guess at what that mist is.
But don't worry yourselves with all of that. The keep is far away enough from the Lost Lands that I don't think you'll come across any of those horrible nesties. Your best bet is
What's
probably
the
arguing
time?
against packs of wolves, bears, owlbears, and the goblin. Maybe a kobold every now and again. I've heard that Millwood's having issues with forest fires recently, so maybe those as well.
And kobolds are responsible?
Well, they
Kobolds are fine.
seem to think it. But I don't know.
Oh, well, there's kobolds. They're usually scaly things. Well, I have one more thing I wanted to ask. Are you familiar with the way the bank is built?
Not really. I don't know much of it. I know they got blown up recently, and that's about it.
Has Gulmak informed you that the explosion was magical in nature?
No, of course the big old oaf hasn't talked to me about that yet.
Well, through some snooping of my own, I've ascertained that the explosion was caused by magic rather than something like black powder or anything physical.
Rather odd to see goblin kind working with those arcane inclined.
So
How peculiar.
that would mean someone would have casted a spell that would have resulted in an explosion, and then the goblins appeared. How or why, I can't tell you. There wasn't a magic circle or sigils left behind, just residuals.
Well, if you find out, you have to tell me. I'm sure you guys will survive the travel to the keep and back. And make sure to inform me when you do. I want to know everything about it.
I'm gonna look
Thank you for your
at
good faith.
the 3 around me, particularly Doi. I'm not sure how many of us are going to come back.
I'm sure all of you
Don't say
will.
things like that.
I'm just trying to
I've
be a bit
survived worse.
realistic. Well, then again, we do have that big fellow, don't we?
Exactly. He can take the point. And we'll
I
just
think
sort
he's
of
worth about 9 goblins.
Probably.
Hopefully. Do you two have anything to ask Innovaris here?
Well, actually, I was wondering, do you have any tips for an adventurer trying to start making a positive mark on the world? Or is that too much of a philosophical question?
She smiles. Well, if I had a golden coin for every time someone's asked me something akin to that, I could probably buy a small book.
I thought it would be a rare question.
Lots of adventurers want to try and make their mark. That's why they joined the Crestfall Guild. Golmak really wants to try and make a difference with the adventures that he sends people on. Clearing caves, destroying monsters, helping people out as much as he can. I would start small. The world is a really big place and it can be overwhelming. Little things tend to make the biggest motions. And sometimes all it takes is a small thing to push a big obstacle.
She's not wrong.
I didn't expect something quite that deep. But, you know, it works.
Maybe your first step in all of this can be clearing out that keep.
Which is no
should
small
think
task
so.
of its own.
No, it'll be an easy job, in and out 20 minutes, I reckon.
Well, it's a 2 and probably just under 2-day journey to get to Grim Keep, so...
Right, so we received, oh good gods, who has the goblin cape with the weird flame symbol on it?
Not me.
Not me.
Did
Well,
we
is it
take
like-
one?
I
One of the
think
people
it
that's
got
not with
burned in a
us.
fire.
No, no, one of us had one. One
We
of
only
us
took
had one.
note
One
of
of
it.
us had one.
I believe, if anything, I probably picked it up. If anything, we only took note of it.
Lord Almighty. Okay, hold on.
It might just be you.
Yeah. God Almighty. Hold on. 2 minutes. Do you have any information on this strange symbol? Was it knitted or was it painted on?
It was embroidered into the cloak, into the
Embroidered.
design of it.
Okay, because I was wondering if the goblins just went like, yeah, with like, you know, paint and blood on like
Sort of
canvas. You know?
smeared, like-
Goblins are known to do that. Okay, they just go, yeah, and then it's like good enough for them.
You're not wrong.
So the fact that it's
we-
embroidered is even more suspicious than what I initially thought it was. Because I
Yup.
just thought they just went,
I mean-
you know, they just went with like
Not
their
just
fingers.
like their clothing, but they also
So
had like
essentially
pristine.
It wasn't the
weaponry as well.
goblins that did that, I don't think, because there's no
Oh,
way goblins
yeah,
embroidered
I doubt it. I doubt it. Unless there's like a goblin matron that's just like
Yeah, an
You know.
enlightened matron goblin.
fucking knitting away in the fucking depths of Grimkeep.
Old
Just knitting,
granny
you
with a
know?
needle.
Dude,
Yeah,
old
yeah,
granny
yeah.
goblin, yeah.
Yeah, fucking freak of a goblin. So, are you familiar at all, or do you have any information on a symbol of hands kind of cupping or tending to an ember,
It's the same.
as if it's warding off winds or something?
It's the same sigil that Golmak told me to look into a couple of weeks back from the first attack. I haven't found anything on him. I mean... She sighs. Any theories that come to my mind is anything related to fire. The only thing that I can think of is Solon. But goblins don't worship holy things. It's odd. Unless it's something to do
Well-
with a dragon. Fire. I mean... It wouldn't be odd for goblins to start worshipping something that isn't a god. For all we know, they could literally be worshipping a fire for no reason whatsoever. It wouldn't be
Well, they-
unknown to do that.
They were fleeing with the statue at Solon, one that's normally used in prayers and ceremonies, I would assume.
Oh.
One about this high, this big, not that intricate, made of solid bronze or copper.
But it seemed to shine in the sun, don't forget that one. Hideous thing.
Hideous,
Peculiar.
but it had a hint of divine magic on it.
Maybe they are starting to worship Solon. I don't know who or how they've been influenced to do so. I mean, Beshalak is the first creature that comes to mind for goblins to worship, not a god of holy radiance.
Right, and here they are, and he's gonna dig around in his bag only to realize it's not with him. Never mind, they just happen to have it with them, or, well, more specifically, they blew up the bank for it.
Well, now I'm really invested. You really need to go and find out.
Which I hope I will. He's gonna turn to Celwydd and Ambrose. Anything else for the both of you? No more questions?
Not in particular. Actually, when we come back, and we will, because I don't plan on dying this way. I
Neither do
must know
I.
your skincare routine, because the sun is horrific on mine, and yours is beautiful. And just smiles, and then turns back to Eldrith, and that is all. After you.
The wonders of having fur-bulk skin, I suppose.
It's true. Your skin is quite meticulous.
Well,
When you say so, Celwydd?
I'll make sure to exchange my routine with you if you return. When you return.
Of course.
Which
When
we
will you
will.
return?
Hopefully, I'll impart some knowledge of my own as well. We'll swap.
I'm gonna lean into Ambrose. You have a skincare routine?
Usually I just wake up and it just looks great.
You could have fooled me.
Well, we did just have a little bit of a scuffle and there was an explosion, you know.
Oh, that's true. That's true. And he's gonna pat his shoulder and like lean away now.
Wait, do I have dirt on my face?
No, I think that's just stress.
Right,
No, I don't think that's dirt. It's just your face.
Essentially what he said.
I think
Right.
they've been out in the sun too.
Um,
But, yeah.
On the way out, make
I
sure
think it
that
does age you.
make sure that your little robot friend doesn't get eaten by my plants.
Oh
As
god,
you-
where has Doi gone?
As you turn around, you see Doi wrestling a large plant for
Oh, God.
for a fresh fruit that looks ripe and large, and he's like trying to pull it away from the plant.
Oh god!
That's not yours.
In Avaris,
Doi's going for him.
is it alright if he has that fruit? Is it poisonous?
Suppose you can have it.
Well, it's not
Drop
going to
it.
kill him. He's made of like wood.
You see this large carnivorous plant just open its mouth and just drop Doi on the fruit to the ground, and it looks towards the party, shakes its head, and then goes back into the kind of nooks of the shrub.
Doi quickly shakes himself, waddles back over to the party, and immediately offers it to the female first.
As in Celwydd or in Avaris?
That's me,
Yeah,
or
Celwydd, yeah. Or no, not Celwydd. Sorry, the NPC's name.
In Avaris.
Enavaris.
Thank you, Anavaris.
Oh. How very kind of you to present me with this present. She picks it up. Thanks. Very odd and peculiar.
Maybe he's trying to make friends.
Maybe. Well, do be sure to return when you can. I'm had quite a lot of intrigue coming from this.
And I, equally as intrigued by your plants. How do they move? Do they just sense your intent? Or do you command them like you just did just now? Let's not get sidetracked. We've taken enough of your time.
She smiles. Very well. I'll let you go. She turns around
Eldrith.
and begins tending to her flowers.
Eldrith is going to turn to leave and then turn back on his heel to face her. Right, before I leave, do you know where I can procure some spell scrolls? For future reference.
Best chance of that is at the Crestfall Castle.
Alright, well, I think we have to head there anyway. We have some people waiting for us, don't we?
Alright. I'll let you go.
Right, well, good luck with your plans.
Okay. Well, that being said then, you will all rendezvous at the Crestfallen Castle.
Brandon?
Yes.
Just quick question as we're leaving, right? Does it look like Eldrith can tussle with that Venus flytrap? Or will it eat him? Like, will it fucking devour him, or does he have a fighting chance?
What's your
You
strength
will be
score again?
bored.
My strength score? Bro. My strength
Minus
is
2.
a
Negative.
solid... Shut up, Aimee! It's a +0.
Plus
It's a
0
10.
is a 10.
Yeah, it's a 10, yeah.
It could go
Just
other-
by visuals.
I think if we're just using physicality and no spells, yeah, it's got you beat.
Oh shit, bro. Okay. He's gonna keep a mental note of that because I'm kind of curious about how strong the plant was. Anyway,
Yeah.
the castle.
Anyway, yes. The rest of you actually join with Hjarlgron, who is staring at the large double doors that open up into the Crestfallen Guild, as you guys actually group up with him just at the entrance.
Like just staring at it. Like,
Yeah, probably just looking at it before he walks in. Not like just open eyes and gorming at it, just like as you would like look at
In
a
a trance.
just as you would look at a building up and down before you walk into it, I
Just
suppose.
staring at it blankly.
Just sizing the
What
door up.
is
How big is the door?
The door is a solid like 35 to 40 feet tall.
Tell me.
Would the
Okay.
door win in a fight?
No, the door wouldn't win in a fight.
It's
I'd
old
win.
as
What's your strength
it's
score?
old-
What's your strength score?
It's old as fuck. This wood's ancient. Who knows what it can do?
I got to hit him with a Nara, I'd win. So
True.
I've got the dual boot.
So if Ryan tries to grapple the door and rolls a nat 1, does he get splinters in his palms?
Yeah, it's an
Probably.
ancient door, bro. Who knows what it has? It might have a spell glyphed onto it that's just gonna blow it miles away.
That's
also
also
Guy-
possible, yeah.
I hope it does.
So we open the door, right? Walk on in.
Alright. You walk in and you are met with the same painting that the same picture I painted earlier.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, the room is kind of now turned into this everlong twilight with glinting stars in the ceiling and an open kind of planned castle where several adventurers walking past and minding their own business are surrounding you.
Is there like a large desk where there's people?
Well, there's a
And
lot of
if so-
tables with people.
I don't want tables. I want like a main. You go here to speak to someone of importance.
Oh, well, behind the bounty board there is a large desk where people go to either bring in evidence of their jobs to get their rewards and stuff like that.
Okay, I'm gonna go there.
Are the rest of you following?
Of
Yeah,
course.
Very well.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I probably don't even know these are here. My perception's not very good, so
Alright. Yeah, you walk up to this kind of like front desk kind of area, I suppose. It's a really long table with plenty of people around, and minding, I suppose, to the people that are bringing in their quote-unquote quests and whatnot, should I say, is someone who looks sour of face and either worn out by his own duties or maybe he's just fed up. It is hard to tell. But you see a man with an open space where you can go up to the desk and speak to. He is human. He's quite. He's got a very strong build, maybe around 6 foot tall. Poorly cut, but still very short, grey, darkened hair with a long, kind of strong beard. Cuts all over his face and his arms. He wears these kind of grey and black cloths and cloaks and robes, very old-fashioned. Hides a lot of probably the armor that he's wearing underneath. His hands are covered in bruises and cuts as well. But no one, out of all of the people that are like waiting in line to like hand in their quests, no one seems to want to go up to this person to hand in their stuff. And
I just see an open person
and I will
just
put
go
in
over.
the art of said person.
Let's go. Yeah, no, I just see a person there,
Ah.
Fine.
clearly of importance, and I go over, since no one else is going.
He looks up to you, and for the first time since you've arrived anywhere past the frost, you're met with a just completely standard and unimpressed face as he looks up to you, sat down in his chair. He, like, cracks a couple of his knuckles, looks up to you. Yeah?
Need information on the Grim Keep.
Right. And you're asking me why?
I don't respond, I'm just like looking. I'm just.
Because we're going there. Just leans.
Oh. You're the next adventuring party that Gormak sent off to get slaughtered then. Fair enough. It's about 2 days' travel, southwest from here. Go through the forest, you'll find it. Takes a sip out of his mug.
You know, I was going to say something about the name not really fitting, you know, Crestfall and all that, but I think I found the source.
He looks very unimpressed. He just looks at you like with this deadpan face.
So that's it then.
Yeah. What? You expecting an escort or something?
Just more
No, but I'm
information.
expecting more information than that.
We'll go find it then.
Roll my eyes.
You're not going to find it
Fine.
on the inner walls of this keep, are you? Go out into the forest, lick the dirt, smell the air or something. Do what adventurers used to do.
Lick the dirt. Haven't done that
I
yet.
suppose that's what they used to do.
Hmm.
Well then,
Not very helpful whatsoever, is it?
I suppose we shall.
Very well.
I'll look back to the rest.
Fortunately, we do have some information.
Hmm.
So,
Shall we
Well,
go and lick the dirt?
what is this information? Come on, tell us.
I indicate Eldrith.
He's
I look to the wizard.
he's paying no mind to any of you, seeing that like, you know, the conversation has already taken off without him. He's just looking around, almost just airheadedly lost in his own thoughts.
There's this sort of hand indicating sort of drifts and sort of finds your shoulder and Eldrith, repeat information.
Yes. What?
Tell them what we learned about the keep.
Oh, the keep? The keep! The
Mhm.
keep.
Hmm.
Like the one we're in
Where
right
we're
now?
going. The one we're going to.
Oh, the one we're going to. Right. Pulls out his little booklet. Well, it's, as we all know, at the shallows of the forest. The fauna, the flora and fauna that we have to be aware of, sadly, are quite perilous. Which range from, and I quote, bears to dragons.
You see a glint in Hjarlgron's eye, hearing the word dragon. Go on.
And as exciting as that is, there's also some undead that prowl around, as uncommon as they might be, and something also called an arcana white. Remnants of people that pass in Misril, as Inavaris called it, the Lost Lands. I don't know what they look like or what they do, but going by their name, I'm guessing they're just a mass of pure arcana.
Did they mention
Yeah, the
anything
magic's
to do with
only-
hags?
No, I think if there
Then we're
were
fine.
fae and hags, I think Inavaris would have mentioned it. The castle,
Nothing to- yeah.
the keep is also built as a square, quite literally just a square. 20 feet high wall, a moat, and I'm guessing a drawbridge. Though I'm not sure if the drawbridge is still there after all this time.
It is.
Oh, would you look at that? It is. I hazard to think that maybe, as time has passed, or maybe they built a secret
Yo,
exit
I
or
wonder-
entrance. Yeah?
I wonder, me being 10 foot tall, if I lift my arm up with someone in it, would they just be able like to easily scale the wall?
I was gonna say, like, you'd probably be able to boost this.
Don't know until you're there.
Oh yeah, we're gonna try on that.
And-
throw a pierce in. You can get in, sneak behind.
And, excuse me, sir, I haven't caught your name. I'm Eldrith, and you? He gestures with, like, the booklet closed now.
I'm Bren.
Ren, would you happen to know if there are anything in the moat now? Is it filled with water, or is it dry?
Probably stagnant water.
Stagnant water.
Bren
Well, that
is a sourpuss.
eliminates the possibility of any entrances in the moat. If it was dry, perhaps the goblins would have dug a path into the keep from the moat.
You'd think. There's always the keep that Dillman always used to use to be able to escape with his daughters.
Right. Inavaris mentioned the name Dillman. The old layout, the blueprint that she showed us, had his name on it. Who are they?
They're a family. A while back. They used to own the keep. Trained soldiers there every now and again.
No known descendants?
If there are any, they're all bled or long dead. Goblin fodder.
Fortunate.
Hold on, so
Well-
you did know things the entire time?
He just looks at you, doesn't even say a word.
Just shakes his head like disappointed.
come on. Got a long queue of people waiting. You're holding them up. Better get off then.
Oh God.
I look behind us.
Ren's disconnecting.
There is not a
Am
single.
I disconnecting?
If you'd got
No
to the
one's
point quicker,
disconnecting.
maybe we would have been able to move along, and then just like sort of flicks his head a little bit and turns and leaves.
Yeah, there's not a single person in the queue, Doy.
Yeah.
I still leave.
Well, I suppose. Thank you for your help.
Yeah.
And leaves.
Follow everybody else.
You see a
Turn
small.
back.
Depressing
Ger-
man.
you see a small German Shepherd walk up to Bren. Bren pulls out a piece of meat from this like, side counter and hands it over, gives him a scruff, and the dog sits next to him and lays down.
It's got a dog.
It immediately walks around the counter and pulls out a berry. Berry.
Looks at you.
Might be poisonous.
It kind of smells you at first, smells the berry, and then takes the berry.
Yeah. Walks back around the counter.
Alright.
That man.
Ooh, actually, where's the
Pain in the
board?
arse.
The board is just literally directly opposite the desk that you're just at.
Y'all want to check out the board?
I want to get rest. I'm kind of bleeding.
True.
Super fucking low on HP. Wait.
Jesus. I suppose we'll check out the board tomorrow.
Can do.
Well, you guys would
Yeah,
also
check it out.
find Pierce here, so
Well, we're all meeting at the tavern anyway, so.
But we're just missing Syldia at the moment, or is she around?
she was with you as far as I'm aware, but I don't know. I haven't heard Chibi say
Yeah, I was gonna
whether
say.
he was. Or
Oh yeah, I forgot where she was.
Yeah. She went to the library and waited outside drinking some tea.
Oh, okay.
Cup of tea.
I am
Joy.
floating around the fortress.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try and find anyone who can point me in the direction of the
Fit in.
the tavern we were told about. Because your boy is looking.
I've been staying at said tavern for about a week now.
Oh, then lead the way.
All right. Looks around for a moment to like orient himself. I would know where it is, correct?
Yes, yeah, you would. Be easy enough.
Yeah, Hjarlgron's just like hobbling behind,
Very
like
quickly.
holding the stab wound to the elbow on.
Fucking owlbear.
And as I'm sort of walking, I will I sort of pull up my violin case like around me on the strap and open it up in front of me, and summon a quick mage hand that just begins to sort of polish it with the cloth that's inside the case.
My
Cool.
God, I love it.
Now, will all of us be requiring lodgings? Because I believe I can possibly maybe wiggle us a little bit of room.
I imagine my character would have already been there like that morning. So
Yeah.
Accommodations did not pass my thoughts.
You know, I don't think my guy probably will really do
Fit?
much within said room. So he'll probably
Was
just
gonna
sleep
say.
not
outside.
fit in the bed.
Sleep outside, bro.
Yeah, honestly, just like sleep to the side of the tavern.
Oh, Brandon.
He
Yeah.
just wants to know where it is.
Instead of the tavern room, is there like shade under the big tree that Eldrith can rest at?
I mean, yeah, if you want to sleep outside.
Let's go.
Damn right.
We ain't no tavern sleepers,
hell.
bro. We are.
We're sleeping under trees, even in
we're
town.
Trumps.
The
We're
middle
Trumps,
of
baby.
town.
You
I
got
mean, he
someone
didn't get to
alive.
finish. He didn't get to finish his little tree watch. Fucking bank exploded.
True.
Why are you watching a tree? It's gonna do the same thing it's always gonna do.
Yeah,
Nothing.
but
It's a
the
tree.
one time you miss it, what it actually does, Ryan.
True. Honestly.
Okay, well, we got the two homeless people that are gonna go and sleep next to the tree.
Are they like
I'm
announcing
fucking
this
next to the tavern.
departure, or are they just turning and leaving?
I'm sleeping next to the tavern.
Right.
Right. Not the tree.
I'm messing with you. I'm going in the goddamn tavern.
Okay.
The tree won't go anywhere. Will it?
That
Might
isn't
do.
gonna fit me.
We'll see.
We won't know if we don't stay the night.
Yeah, exactly. I just saw
Morning is
Innovaris
fun.
move some roots, bro. I don't trust this.
Maybe, man. Maybe. Right. Well,
I'll wake up tomorrow, that tree's fucking gone.
Well, eventually then, with thanks to Celwydd and Ambrose already knowing their way around Crestfall somewhat, you find your way back to, well, you two find your way back to, the others find their way first, to the Fallen Rest.
Oh, look at this fucking mess.
So, the Fallen Rest, as old as it is comfortable. It has been here for probably as long as the castle itself has been. The first place where probably peasants and workers for the people that owned the castle once used to come and rest and drink. The wood on the floor is probably older than all of you combined. The walls themselves have enough stories and laughs on them to tell thousands of bardic tales, and the lanterns flicker with candles as ancient as the ones who built this place. The Fallen Rest, as you all wander in, brings you warmth and comfort. People sit and dwell on their thoughts. Some brood, others enjoy the food that is available and the drinks that are readily available. But one thing is known for sure about Fallen Rest, and the people that own it. One thing is known above all else, and that is Durim, the person that owns it. A dwarf as old as some of the paintings in this place, but also arguably the most important person on the outskirts of the city. The man who pours the drinks. There is no such person in any establishment that has more respect and more power than the one that pours a nice, cold mug of ale at the end of a hard work's day. And his age shows on his sleeves. As you walk in, you can see that Durim, the greyed dwarf, Durin, I'll put his name. The greyed dwarf, oldened with age, is probably also slightly now jaded as well with it. Probably once was the life of the party. He still holds a very golden heart and the respect of every single person that walks into this place, but perhaps he is a bit too old for the usual nuances and small talk. People love this place. You can tell that everyone enjoys the Fallen Rest. And in the distance, Durin speaking to several patrons, probably as old as he is, and he's engaged in conversation whilst polishing some wooden tankards. I shall show you an image of Durin himself.
Pushing wooden tankards, that sounds so futile.
Rugged, but plenty thick.
He looks like he could take down an ox with his bare hands, bro.
Probably has had a fight with an ox once or twice. Probably probably has fought plenty of animals in his time and has had 100% got at least 50 victories of tavern brawls under his belt.
You know how mountain goats are fucking annoying? They like come charging at you. If a mountain goat comes charging at this guy, bro, it's not gonna be a goat for long.
Very well. So, you walk into the Fallen Rest and, yeah. No one turns or, like, passes a glance. It's not an oddity for people to walk in and out of here. Unless Hjarlgron is also walking in. If Hjarlgron is also walking in, then yes, people will turn and look, but...
No, he's popped up outside now. He's sat down. He's
Very well.
he's conking
It's
out.
the roach of the party.
Very well.
He's conking out. He's
Tie him up outside like a horse.
he's not doing so good, guys. He needs rest.
Yeah, I don't blame Hjarlgron. He had a good tussle.
Couple of
He did,
arrows,
yeah, he did put
bite
his whole
marks.
ass into it.
My liver's been punctured, you know.
Yeah, very well.
Okay.
So you all wander into the Fallen Rest. What do you do?
I am immediately marching over towards Durin.
He looks over to
Yeah.
you. Well, it was only a matter of time until you returned with more folk around you. I knew you were one of those.
Oh, well, you know, company is company. Tell me, you handsome old bastard, do you have any more steak tonight? I'm feeling peckish.
Only the best. I'll get you some woolly beefsteak up for you in a while. Hey, Maida! You can hear a voice in the back of the tavern in the kitchen. What do you want, you
Measure
old fucking
from
oaf?
Coss.
Oh, Jesus.
Get us, and he looks over to you, Ambrose. One steak. You seem to be bringing more company these days, so how many am I getting for you?
Oh, I mean, I look around at everyone else. Does anyone else want a delicious, delectable meal from this fine chap?
He's not looking at you, but he'll raise his hand. He's just amazed at so many people being in one place.
Any special dietary requirements?
Shakes his head.
He whispers to you, Ambrose,
Pescatarian,
with a
vegan,
very, like,
vegetarian.
husky voice. Not that I'm gonna listen to them anyway, but go on.
No, of course not.
The fucker.
And he sort of like, takes a head count. Anyone want food? Well, yeah.
Yeah, I could go for something to eat.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind something either.
Okay. I think we're taking like. Oh no, wait. And looks at Doi. Do you eat?
I can.
He can.
He could eat. Just turns to.
I think
We'll take like 6 meals, and I'll have mine practically mooing if you don't mind.
Of course. Miner, we need 6 of them. Get them on the fire, grilled up. One of them needs
And
to be
please
pretty much
not.
alive, please.
He's not medium rare. It was like boot leather.
Don't tell her that. She'll have me sleeping outside.
Of course. Tell me, if I was to put on another absolutely smashing performance, and this time perhaps with help, and I look over at Celwydd and her harp, would we be able to get ourselves a little discount?
You can see a small grin appear on his side. Alright. You entertain at least half of the pub. You get a couple of booze, I won't mind it. As long as they don't kick you off set, sure, I'll give you a discount on your rooms.
Oh, let's go.
I don't believe I've ever been kicked off. I mean,
But
we
none
all
of
had
that.
days.
I don't know none of that bland shit though, right?
What blanche?
Nobody seems to mind
I'm
my
not in a
practices.
ballroom, am I? I don't want none of that fucking dancing ballroom shite, okay?
Then what
You
do
mean
you
like
want?
a slow waltz? Like,
Do the wonder, and he starts to raise his voice. The wonderful patrons of the Fallen Rest. Fancy a waltz, lads. And they all start laughing. Oh, fuck it off, Durin.
I don't think they want a waltz.
We need something
no,
a
I'm not going to
bit
give them a waltz.
upbeat, you know. Fitting.
Oh, upbeat I can do. Absolutely. Now, where's best for me to set up?
And the Bardic corner. Points over to the corner of the room that has the large kind of glass pane window. And it has a kind of like a slight raise in the ground, like 1 foot off of the ground. That's where people normally go and either do like talks or bands or whatever.
Currently empty. I'm
Yeah,
just like
no one's there. Yeah,
yeah.
currently up to you.
Yeah.
fantastic. All right, well, you get those fantastic dishes on the way, and I will see if I can strum up a little tune.
Hey, if anyone throws any tomatoes at you, don't come to me.
No, they're wasting your food, not mine. And he's going to turn to Celwydd. Will you be joining me, dear?
Well, I'd be quite honoured to.
You'll have to keep up, of course. I can play quite fast. And he just walks towards the corner, like already uncasing his viol from around his neck.
I'll pull up like a chair so that I can get comfy with my harp leaning against me.
Very well. We'll start tuning yourselves and setting yourselves up. Anything that the rest of you are doing in the meantime?
I'm gonna go find a nice seat, kind of away from most people. This is overwhelming.
Very well. Syldia?
I'll probably join Eldrith.
Doi? Doi? DO1?
Oh, sorry.
He's zoned
Not
out
right
again.
now.
We didn't plug in the USB-C.
Are you
Fuck!
joining the rest on the table, or are you just walking around?
Yeah, I'm gonna join on the table for now.
Alright, Pierce, are you with them yet, Pierce, or do you return with them or no?
Wallahi.
Pierce.
Inna lillah,
This
he's
is
dead.
fucking dead.
Inna lillah.
Very well.
What's up?
What are you doing in the Fallen Rest? Are you joining them at the table? What you doing?
I mean, if I wasn't gonna go see Gulmark, I guess.
Well, you attempted to find Gulmark, but he was otherwise busy and inclined.
Damn. All right, then I shall walk in.
Very well. Well, you do see the rest of them there, pent up on a table, whilst Celwydd and Ambrose are setting up for a set play.
Oh, I have
Go
a
to the
plan
bar.
to boost that set play.
Very well.
Oh. Are you giving
Well, you
me a
see.
time?
Dancing lights let me make a humanoid size.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
Very well. Okay.
Interesting.
As you all get your drinks and get your food, and you guys tune your...
go to the bar. Yippee.
Alright, Pierce, you go up to the bar. You're met with Durin. The old dwarf looks you up and down. What can I help you for?
Just a room for the night.
Just the silver, then.
Ah, easy done.
Oh,
Change
what the
for
hell? Alchemy
gold.
crashed.
This guy's not identified as part of the group, which means he has to pay for his own rooms. No.
Very well. My bardic duo. As the room settles down and all begins looking to you, like to see what the music's going to be played. Set yourselves the scene.
I am going to slowly, steadily bring up my veil to my chin, and sort of flourish my my bowstring, and then give it a little twirl, and I'm going to cast Mage Hand. That will sort of appear in the air next to me, and almost like a metronome, it starts to like pick left, right, and I'm going to look over at Celwydd and give her a nod to say that I'm ready.
All right, I will. Yeah, nod back, and I'm gonna let him get the first like couple
And
seconds
I
of
will
the song.
start with like a quivering sort of, which then will just go into a it's like immediately like a jolly quick tune.
Very well.
Just like with this mage hand just going like 1 2 1 2 1 2 next to my head basically.
Amazing. You may both roll me performance checks.
Let's
Oh my
go.
god! Okay, let's go.
It's gonna be fine.
Nice.
Hey.
Nice.
Hey, perfectly,
That's good.
perfectly fine.
Good. All right, you guys begin setting your music. Ambrose takes the lead, and then eventually Celwydd joins in with the strings of a harp, adding a beautiful symphony into the music. Upbeat enough for people to start off listening to it. They look to you as you guys are enjoying yourselves, and then as it kind of goes into this kind of jolly set, a couple of them start kind of like banging on the wooden tables in tune with it to make like a drumming beat as it goes with it. And it seems that all of the crowd is very much enjoying the play. You got a couple of them now that kind of stand up, they jump onto the tables, and they kind of lock arms and begin like dancing around on the table and kicking the mugs off of the table. Ale just flies across the room and splatters against the wall.
Pandemonium.
Oh no, we set the tone too chaotically.
Too high.
Too jolly,
high.
too jolly.
You see Durin in the
problem.
distance kind of happy, and he's kind of clapping along to the beat of it. And you guys have set a very kind of jolly little atmosphere. Durin seems impressed. He gives you a thumbs up and an okay sign.
During this little
and, like-
performance, can I have literal dancing lights dance around them?
Yeah, of course.
Oh wow, nice.
He'll he'll kind of pinpoint 4 little locations on his astrolabe and like fling them over with like his index finger.
You begin to see these full, almost star-like dancing orbs begin to kind of like wave up and down as they surround you, almost a kind of like the beat of the music, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Yeah, it's-
Noticing this sort of in a bit of a break to my viol as like Celwydd gets a little bit of a go on the harp, taking more center. I'm just gonna like lean forwards so that my glasses slide down my nose, and like look at Eldrith, point my like bow at him, and give him a wink, like thanks, nice. Like,
You see his index finger is like conducting the lights. He just thumbs up with like the free hand.
And it leads to quite a jolly afternoon of rest. If there's anything else that someone would like to actually run through in terms of RP, then you may do so. But if not, then we shall fade to black with a very nice end to kind of like the first evening and a very excellent performance. That Durin is more than happy to let you have the rooms for the night free as you've earned your keep.
Really quickly, is there a barkeep that was like walking around?
There's a couple of waiters around that kind of like handing out drinks.
Yeah. So I'm trying to get seeing that, understanding his role, he's going to reach up onto the table from like almost underneath it. It's taller than he's taller than it, but like gets his arm up. He just grabs the food off of Celwydd and Ambrose's plates and starts just handing out huge chunks to people, trying to be helpful. Not really understanding, but
oh no! Joy goes around handing meat and potatoes.
The slightest fucking falter in a string as Ambrose basically sees his delicious steak being carried away.
Yeah, you kind of walk around handing food to different people that just pick it up. Some people like start lifting Doy up and kind of like swinging him around because he's so small. And start like raising him, throwing up and down into the crowds. And overall, it seems that the night goes off swimmingly, and you do not have to pay for your keep tonight.
Wait, let's go. We save money.
Yes, you may all enjoy
the real value.
You may all enjoy the benefits of a long rest.
Oh, let's go.
Yippee!
Oh, thank God, my fucking health.
Very well.
You just zonk.
And also, Ambrose and Celwydd, it seems that over the course of the night, a couple of people threw some copper pieces onto the ground. You may both
Fantastic.
add.
We got the Baldur's Gate 3.
You may both add 5 copper pieces each to your inventory. As some people decided. As some people decided to throw some onto the small stage whilst you guys were performing. Obviously, these are farmers and peasants, so that is a lot of money for them. Obviously, that's.
Hey man, that's like lunch for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
the
well,
fuck?
for some of these people, a couple of copper pieces is good. As a good meal, so.
Yeah, bro.
Very well.
And well, that's 2 good meals for me, bitches.
The rooms are not exactly gourmet by any means. You know, the beds aren't exactly the most amazing thing ever, but there is an ever-looming sense of security in this place. Like, the walls are comforting, you feel safe. There's something warm about the Fallen Rest. It's hard to put your finger on it and explain logically, but there's something about this place that just feels comforting. And you are woken up to the sound of whistling wind against the, I wish I could say very well sealed windows, but the sound of whistling wind kind of breaks through some of the smaller like gaps in the ceiling parts of the windows, and the sound of kind of like leaves hitting against doors and people outside beginning to set up their markets and whatever else. And one by one, you would all wake up to the next day in Crestfall on the second day of Senedal, the first autumn cycle. So, as you all gather downstairs on a nice quiet morning, some people are still drooling on the desk, on the tables, because they probably slept on the table and haven't woken since. A lot of them dealing with hangovers, but you all managed to gather yourselves downstairs. So what would you all like to do?
I'm just gonna be in a really great mood, because I'm like on a high from the previous night.
Yeah, amazing.
Just gonna wait for everyone else to get downstairs.
Yeah, just reconvene. Did I get my steak eventually? Somebody get me his
you eventually got pieces of his steak.
Oh,
Like pre-cut.
which means I was handing out little chunks of just
Yeah, you were just
raw
pulling.
meat.
Yeah, you were just pulling this
Yeah,
chunk
oh.
of steak and walking around and handing it to
I was
people.
Bloody steak.
But the really raw one.
Yeah.
It's probably cold in the middle.
Yeah.
I think it was cold anyway.
I was gonna say it.
This is Yeah, Ambrose looks happy enough, but a little bit disappointed. Didn't get my steak.
You're back in the morning with the growling voice of Durin. Morning to a lot of you. Good performance last night.
Thank you, Durin. Well met. Good morning.
Yeah,
You're all early birds in comparison to the rest of these fucking shite bags. Heading off somewhere by any chance? And do you know much about the giant that's waiting outside?
Oh, he's with us.
Oh, right.
We're headed to Grim Keep.
Oh, the next lot sent by Gulmak then, eh? I wish you the best of luck. I do like you, so please don't end up being dead.
How many groups have Gulmak sent to Grim Keep?
You're the third party he sent over. The other two, not a single person's come back from.
Any news
It's
if they're
not so
alive?
Any news of their what?
They're alive.
As far as we're aware, they're assumed dead.
Assumed.
Assumed.
Drinks what you can only assume is coffee and whiskey. Yeah, it's early in the morning in Crestfall. If someone doesn't turn up from a quest roughly a week after it was set, we just assume them dead. It's easier to deal with and grieve.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm gonna make my way down the stairs, doing up my belt as I go along. Stop on like the second step. Oh, I know you guys. Wait.
We'll like look over at him. You were with us at the square yesterday, weren't you?
Right, and we were meant to meet here, right?
Yes. Where the fuck were you?
Somewhere else. Smiles.
Right.
Well, you missed a good night.
Oh, you guys were performing last night. Oh no, yeah, I was here.
Oh,
Well, so why didn't you come over? Why didn't you say anything to anyone?
Yeah, not typically my thing.
Right, well, bygones be bygones. Will you be joining us on this little adventure, or are you going to continue to be a lonely little boy?
I mean, there's money in it, so I'm in.
It's enough for some, I suppose.
It's enough for me.
Hmm.
I
He just looks at him a bit disappointed again. He gets this sort of like resting bitch face almost.
what's with the face? What's with the look?
Oh, well, you know, since you said that you would be helping us do some investigating and you didn't, and then you said that you would reconvene with us and you didn't.
I mean, what's there to know? Goblins, people, probably getting stabbed as they go in there, not make it out. What do you need to know that I probably dug up?
Well, you probably didn't dig anything up. You were probably too busy sniffing around copper pieces on the floor or something. I don't know.
Wow, okay.
The door creaks open.
We found
And the wooden planks on the ground kind of squeak as the weight of someone who's not meant to be on them walks in. You see the frame of Hjarlgron walk into the tavern, punched over as the beams are like pushing his head down.
Oh, it's that guy.
You all ready or what?
Absolutely, we were just educating this fellow on the benefits of friends.
Dunker walks outside. Sorry.
I see
Evidently
benefits of
not just
your
the
friend
that
there.
needs the education. Let's go.
All right. Sooner we do this, then we get paid.
Very well. You all set off from the Fallen Rest, and even more importantly, from Crestfall. You see, as people in the morning, as you walk into the streets of Crestfall, some of them are kind of sat around the stonewood tree with the blue leaves, and you see as one of the leaves falls down, and someone catches it, and they pocket the leaf, and then as someone manages to do that, the rest of them leave the tree alone and scatter. You all make your way.
Catching leaves.
A singular leaf that fell, yes. and they were all prepared for it in the morning. They were all surrounding the tree, waiting.
Party will remember that.
That's kind of weird.
That's odd.
Okay, write that down. We'll do that when we get back.
Write that down.
Yep.
Yeah, catch leaves. First thing in the morning.
Make sure Hjarlgron does it. He's taller.
Why did they do that? We need to find out. That's important to the plot.
Brandon.
They literally just have a scrapbook.
Yeah.
Yeah, they actually just wanted to leave.
The scrapbooking.
Like,
Hey,
I
Brandon.
do that in real life, guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I arrived here and was kind of captivated by the tree, right?
Yes.
Do I happen to know anything about that thing?
It happened also on the day that you arrived early in the morning. There was people surrounding the tree, a leaf fell, someone managed to grab it, and then the rest scattered. Only the once.
Old tradition.
Nymphs.
An old tradition, maybe. Do I happen to know any like cultural insignificance or like tradition that happens here in Crestfall?
From your 2 days here? No, nothing. No idea.
Well, not from 2 days here, but like maybe I've read something or heard something on the way.
It's a very unique and kind of single tradition of Crestfall that doesn't really get much publicity since it's just a common thing that they do here. I doubt it would be something that's written anywhere or archived anywhere.
We'll probably have to ask the barkeep when we get back.
Well, in that case, I can ask.
Alright, well, with the thoughts currently pocketed, you guys begin your travel into the distance.
Let's go.
Oh, whoa.
My alchemy fucking died.
Scene
Shit,
change.
fuck.
Yeah, mine had a bit of a stroke there. Yeah.
Get down, my alchemy committed. Jeez. Far East travel.
It was loading.
Alright, so you guys
How
set
many
off.
pixels on this bit?
Yeah, boy.
Let's see here.
2 days.
World map. Not world map. I don't need the world one. I need the Kelmont map.
Hjarlgron map. Yeah, you zoom in a little bit. Zoom in on the world map just a little bit.
Yeah. Just zoom in. It's like Google Maps. I zoom in and it starts like
Yeah.
upgrading the quality when I zoom in. Oh, I imagine.
You zoom out too far and then you just get the globe.
That would be great if I could just zoom in. That's better, man. Okay, so yeah, you guys begin traveling on the roads and making your way. You manage to stay on the roads for a while, but obviously, as you've been told, you're going to have to come off of the beaten path at some point and begin traversing into the crept woods. So, let me see here if I've got this organized how I want it to be.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Oh.
Maps.
Hey.
And then I don't need that.
What's happening?
What is happening?
If you go to the map, you can see
He's
what goes on.
preparing. He's preparing us.
What's going on?
Preparing us for death. He's giving us our
What the fuck?
ritual
We're
rites.
just floating in the void?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's just,
Yes.
yeah.
Alright.
Bruce, yeah, every March, what do you want?
I like the way that we're like stacked up.
Nice little
Yeah,
pyramid.
it's a long
Imagine
rest
that,
Christmas
like,
tree.
Isn't
It's a
loading.
human pyramid. That's how we're actually
He's
holding
gonna
him
be
up.
at the top.
Oh god damn it, Pierce, you ruined it. Don't move, you'll crush the pyramid. He'll fall on us.
I don't care. I'm Pierce. I'm a loner. I'm a lone wolf.
Oh,
I'm
that's
on top.
Kind.
Increase the size of the map to that.
Alright, we'll leave you to die first.
Man, he's such an asshole. I hate him.
You
What,
made
your
it.
own
Pierce?
character?
You made the character.
My brother in Christ, you made the sandwich.
You made the sandwich, now eat it.
I hate the sandwich I made.
Oh, wait, hang on.
Alright.
Stack it back. Wait.
And
hold
there
on.
we go.
We need to get back in
And
place.
now you can see the party token. So,
We can see the what?
I've just put a big party token. That's your collective movement on top of Crestfall.
On the world map?
Don't see it, but I like the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're still floating
Yeah,
in the void.
we're all floating in the void.
Listen, you can't see the map either.
We
No,
see
no,
the
We see
no.
the
map,
map.
or-
We don't see the party token.
Just see
Maybe
all
close it and
characters
open it
floating.
again.
Close it, open it again.
Refresh, refresh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yep,
there it
sure
is.
enough.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
the black circle.
Where is it?
Hand.
On Crestfall.
It's on Crestfall.
There
This
we
will
go.
track your movement through the hexes
Yeah, yeah.
as you guys.
I don't see Crestfall, I see a forest now.
Yeah, I see like a forest.
Ah,
map.
okay, I see it.
Easy.
Right. So,
I still don't see it.
what? Right here on this ping.
Yeah, I see the token.
That's...
Yeah, I see it.
Oh, okay, I see the
But-
party token now. Yeah, yeah,
There's
yeah, yeah.
nothing
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
At Crestfall.
Have you
Yeah, for
reloaded it,
me,
Reece?
it's just a forest background.
What am I looking at?
Oh.
Go up. It's like up.
What do you mean go?
It's what's on your screen?
Zoom out.
Oh,
we have our
anyway,
tokens.
this is very.
We have our
this
tokens.
is
and
very
then
Hey, it's
overwhelming
good
for
one.
something incredibly underwhelming. It's just a token that we're going to use to track your movement on the overworld.
There we
you know?
go.
Typical
Never
Iron
mind.
Lobby communication.
Like, it's really not that much. It's just like, it's been all of a sudden now everyone's expecting this crazy ass mechanic.
Okay,
I'm just like, guys,
how
it's just a
do you-
token, bro, that we keep in
Can
touch.
Guys, we've never had this mechanic before, Brandon.
can you allow us to move the party token, Brandon?
Is there a cool
Oh.
moving animation glow?
Yeah, literally, but all of a sudden now everyone's expecting me to have this really cool thing. I'm just like, no, guys, it's just a
It's
token.
just a token, guys.
It's a circle.
Brandon.
Yes.
There we go.
Oh, fucking hell.
I got it.
Hey,
don't
we
worry.
moved. Let's go. Teleportation.
Back here.
No, don't put it back there. I've got the map open so I can fucking put it where it needs to go, you mong. There we go.
Why are we in
I didn't see it now.
Why are we in the sea?
Okay,
Why are we
well,
in this? Yeah.
it's going by squares, it's not going by the actual
We
grid.
ended up behind-
Okay.
Oh, yours is going by squares. Weird. Mine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's got the grid behind him.
I've turned the grid off.
Mhm.
Okay, there we go.
Oh, we say high grid.
Down
Oh, there we
here,
go.
and then no, there it is, perfect.
So, obviously, it is a couple of days
Okay,
travel
This is-
from there. So.
there's no point trying to move it when children are playing. Yep.
What is happening?
So we're in the forest. We're in the forest. Fuck the map. We're in the forest now.
Oh,
Right.
It's taking too much
Anyway,
time.
literally. So, you know what? I'm gonna move the
Use the
token.
mouse.
I will take care
Yep.
of moving the party
Yeah.
token.
I
Anyway.
get it.
Ah!
Oh my god.
Right, that's it.
I'm a child. I'm sorry.
I'm
Alright.
I'm revoking your ability to move.
No.
No, it's not
Remove his ability to come.
Right. So,
Whoa!
you can either obviously travel on the beaten path that leads towards Millwood for the initial part, or, which is going to be slightly faster because traveling on beaten paths is going to be always quicker in terms of how long it takes you to travel. A hex is a day's worth of distance, so moving from there to there would be a day, like well to here, because obviously to here again it would be a day. Yeah. So anywhere in whatever direction is a day's movement. Encounters may or may not occur per grid that you move in places that aren't quote-unquote civilized or in like random areas of nature. There's a higher chance of an encounter, like for example if you're in Wisp's Blight. But on beaten paths and stuff like that, the likeliness of you finding anything or being stopped by something is less likely. So you can
Okay.
either make your way through the Crept Woods for 2 days, or you can obviously go down to Millwood and then go across. So it's entirely up to you guys. You can either follow the beaten path down, or we can start doing survival checks, etc., to start weaving your way through the woods directly.
Who's
I can only
leading?
I'm
hazard
down.
the guess.
I'm down to just go through the woods right now.
Who's
I
leading?
can only hazard the guess that that little ruin there, tucked underneath the underneath the O and D in the woods, that's Grimkeep.
Yeah. Also keep in mind that technically in character, none of you have a map yet. So,
Yeah.
obviously this is meta knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, since none of us
But you
in-game
know
have
that
a-
you
has a map,
luckily you were told it is somewhere in the Crept Woods towards the southwest. So, You can just begin traveling through the forest and using survival skills to find it, or you can just travel south to Millwood and then across. It's up to you how you guys go about it.
Just fucking YOLO through the woods.
Yeah, I would be
Who's
happy
leading
to
the party
just
right now?
follow Ryan's character, right? Because he's the one who fucking knows what to do
This is
in
a
gotta
the
track him.
wilderness, right? Surely.
Of course.
I would be
Ri-
happy
Ryan
to
and the
follow him.
robot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Me
I
and
do
Ryan
wanna
are
stop
on this.
I'm
by-
comfortable with that.
I don't want to stop by Millwood, but we can stop by on the
I
way
was gonna
back.
say, I was gonna
Because
say,
traveling on the
we
way back would be better that way.
can- Yeah.
We
That
can
way
go
we
to
don't have to
McDonald's
fight
on the way
anything.
back, Eldrith.
Very well.
Alright.
Through the woods for the first two. Let's go.
Okay.
We're going
so
through the woods.
You make your way through the woods on the first day as you guys move. During this day of travel, as you guys make your way through the woods and begin doing the kind of outskirts, the should I say the quote unquote
Oh, no.
on the
What's-
first day that passes. Is anyone wanting to do anything for the first day of travel as you guys wander?
Oh, we'll just casually, as we're on the road, at some point, Ambrose is going to just sort of think for a moment. And, did anyone bring rations?
I mean, I've got
Rations?
mine.
Yeah, like food for the journey. Because I fucking did.
Not really.
Oh, for...
You guys didn't pack?
We're going to have to go back.
This is like 8 hours in. We're gonna have to go back.
Yeah.
Go back where?
I just
don't
look at
think
We're
they
going to
Ambrose.
have to go back to the town. I
No.
didn't bring food.
I mean, we couldn't just
Well,
run
it was
for it.
gonna
We are in the
be-
woods.
I thought it was gonna be like one of those adventures where somebody gathers firewood and somebody forges dinner, you know?
Well, we
Well,
could do that, but
we
we've not
also
exactly
have-
done that.
It's awfully
also have a
primitive.
Well, we also have a little friend that can give us a berry.
It's true.
That's
I still have
true,
mine.
and that does fill you
Yeah,
up.
but they're not very filling, are they?
Hold up, hands up. Besides the big man, obviously, who's camped outside?
Hands up.
Ambrose does put his hand up. Like, well,
I
sometimes, but
many
it's more like
times.
luxury camping.
Not really.
He's
You've
come
been
to an actual
glamping.
tent.
Where's a glamper?
He's a clamper.
He's a glamper.
He stays in one of those like
used to
glass
having
holes.
like a caravan or a cart or something, you know, stay in.
Yeah.
Prissy, got it.
I can find food.
See?
Okay, good. Then
Continue
you'll be
on
able
the
to
way
find
we're
us
going.
like a deer or something. Hjarlgron, you can get a couple of deer, right?
I'm already looking for him. Like I've like
Alright.
drifted off, and I'm already looking for
Right,
something
so-
to just.
The
Yeah,
person
man.
that is, so this is as I suppose traveling in the wilderness will work. We'll need person that is taking point and leading the party will always have to do a survival check to be able to obviously keep you guys on the right direction and know where the fuck you're going and not stay on the same grid for like 3 million years. So the person taking lead is gonna have to do the survival check to guide you to the place, to take you to the place, or however else you want to say it. And then obviously for foraging or anything other such as that, then I'll need another person to do a different check. So maybe like nature, or you could also do
Oh.
survival, I suppose.
We'll let the nature boy do the nature survival.
So I was gonna say,
Let our robot friend do that. I believe in him.
You will
He's going to be helping us find tracks and food.
Yeah.
you'll see a tiny little antenna pop out of his shoulder,
oh my god.
and he'll
What's
just
that?
start walking.
I love
No,
that.
and he's going where?
I'm just going to sort of follow closely behind him and occasionally point at scuffles in the dirt and just, what about that? Is that a track?
Alright, so
And
who's...
I'm going to. Oh, sorry.
No, go for
To be clear, the antenna, all that. I'm going to cast the spell Wild Cunning and find us a source of food.
Nice.
Very well.
Source of food himself.
I'll just survival to lead us away.
Alright,
Yeah, through.
roll me that survival check. Whoa!
In 9.
Oh, I have a
I don't
clue.
know these lands. I'm from the fucking frost.
Yeah, it's,
I
you're
walk
walking
through
around,
ice.
you're looking at dirt and you're like, bro, where's the snow at?
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck? What is this?
What the
Some
fuck is
snow
this
with a
brown
snow with a
snow?
snow,
Why is it warm?
Don't eat brown snow, bro.
It's in the process of the warm.
That's
Who's
a
been
bit-
browning their snow?
As you navigate through the
Brown
Crep Woods,
brown.
luckily, thanks to Doy's use of magic for the first day, you guys find yourself some food, but it seems to be taking you far longer to navigate through these woods, and you're definitely sure that you've gone past the same place once or twice, or maybe that you're heading in completely the wrong direction. As the night eventually falls, and you are met with a complete pitch black forest and the night sky above you, with only moonlight filling your surroundings. The first day was slightly, impossible in terms of navigating your way towards the Grim Keep.
Gracious.
Can we find
Anna,
a
can I ask a
clearing,
question?
please? Oh, go for it.
With a 9? No, you're going to have to sleep amongst trees. There's no clearing.
No, that's fine. Hjarlgron's used to that. Just chills next to a tree.
Amy had a question.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Are we not doing anything else today, assuming we don't get ambushed?
Haha.
Don't know if anyone else wants to do anything. For the
Yeah, if
first
anyone
day.
wants to do anything else.
Did you say that we could see like up into the sky?
Yes, you can see up into the sky.
So the star thing that I picked said, oh well, I guess it depends. Are we looking for a recorded landmark?
It is a recorded landmark, yes.
Oh shit!
Well, apparently, the stars are going to help me know which direction to go if I could see
Yo!
them.
Ah, they've driven use of her ability from the constellation of the guiding star.
I have the guide. Yeah.
Damn.
You could get useful one and not just expertise with a violin.
Well, as night falls and you all kind of reach the point where you don't have a fucking clue, having any idea where the fuck you're going, the night finally falls. And Celwydd, you, since a very young age, you've always had some sort of ability that when night falls, if you know that a place that is known to people and you know you do want to reach it, the stars somehow lead a way for you when the night comes. You can see up into the constellations above and the Star Weaver's magic, and one singular star that is held up by a string of another star seems to always glow and lead you in the direction that you need.
So I just feel like I know which way to
You
go.
know, well, you can look to the stars, and
Yeah.
the star will
Yeah.
move in the direction that you need it to.
Oh, amazing. Yeah. Okay. I guess I will make like a mental note of that so I can try and explain that to everyone, because I'm assuming they can't see that, right? So if I try to
No,
explain
yeah,
it,
to other
they would
people,
be
to
like,
other
"What?"
people, they just
Yeah.
look at well, anyone else that doesn't
Yeah.
have that as their
Yeah.
selection of the constellation, they will just look to the stars and look to the sky and just see a sea of stars.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay.
Brennan, did you get my whisper?
Yes, I've just seen it.
Okay, neat. Sometimes whispers don't go through on alchemy, and it's entertaining.
Yeah, definitely. You can have a look see that as you're going through.
Mhm.
So, are you guys going to travel through the night with the aid of it, or are you just going to take a mental note of what direction that is and then wait until the morning and go in that direction?
Yeah.
I mean,
was
how
gonna
tired are we?
Say like if everyone's like asleep already. then
Well,
I was
yeah,
just
it
gonna,
is
like, make a
nighttime,
little
and
bit.
you,
Yeah. Because I would have just been like, I guess, lying on my back and looking up and then being like, oh shit, I can see. where to
I
go.
can do that.
Yeah.
I can see.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, I was just gonna wait until the morning and then go to Hjarlgron and be like, can you make us a route through the forest in that direction?
Very well. Are there any watches being kept over this night?
I will.
I
do
will
one.
take the final watch.
I'll take first watch.
Okay, so Doy and Pierce are taking first watch, and Syldia's taking second watch by herself.
I said I was joining. First or
my
second,
bad.
either one.
Second. Eldrith will join on the second one with Syldia. Alright, Pierce or Doy, roll me a perception.
Go ahead.
I'll roll. Is this by myself or with advantage?
It's up to you whether Doy wants to help or not.
Doy is not worried about danger, so would not be looking out.
Very well.
Okay,
Then it
so
is,
just roll
then it is
himself.
a straight roll.
One straight roll. 18.
18. Very well. Over the course of this night, let me see something. I'm trying to figure something.
I don't like the way he's thinking.
Yeah, I'm stopping to find something.
If it was nothing, he wouldn't be waiting.
He's scrolling for something.
He's finding a table of encounters to roll on.
Nice.
Yeah, probably. You guys did so well that gold falls out of the sky. Congratulations.
Holy fuck.
Rolling on a table, you guys are fine, yeah, amazing. You guys got fucking bathed in riches of gold. You just look to the skies and all of a sudden you ascend to godhood.
Hey, we won
guys.
D&D.
Good job.
And then Morendi comes down and kills you all.
We lost D&D.
Yippee.
You win some, you lose some.
Guys, it's time to waltz.
Let's see. Very well. Okay. So, as you're keeping out your watch, and you look out into the distance, and you see the rest of them sleeping, as you're just kind of leaning into the darkest extents of the crept woods. In the distance, you can see the rolling mists of Mysterio in the far distance with the high mountain peaks of where people said that all sorts of manners of creatures come from. But one thing does pop up. Whilst you're having a look out and just gazing and making sure that everything's okay, you notice a silhouette scurrying away from the camp and into the forest. Not entirely sure who, but definitely someone from your camp, from your group, their silhouette has scurried off into the forest.
From our group?
Yes. You can obviously turn around and have a look at, yeah. So you start doing a head count and you notice that Ambrose appears to be missing.
Oh,
Where did Blondie go?
Oh.
Just kind of looks at you, shrugs.
Probably went for a piss.
Very well. Think nothing of it?
He went for a piss, man.
I mean, who knows what's out here? Okay, curiosity's gonna kill the cat. Let's go.
Stands up, begins walking with him.
Alright. You both go in the direction of Ambrose. You try and catch up to him. And eventually, in the distance, you can hear the sound of kind of a animal whinnying, kind of like...
An animal, okay. Is it a pain?
Yes.
Or...
almost in pain. As you...
Okay, then... Yeah, sorry.
As you keep going towards that sound, you see on the ground, hunched over what looks like some sort of deer, the silhouette of Ambrose, just kind of hunched over on the deer. It's hard to tell what he's doing from this distance. Maybe he was hungry and managed to find a deer to hunt and cook some meat, but he's hunched over it on the ground.
Aw, he's hugging it.
With his teeth.
Yeah, you know how cats like bite their owners. It's like that. It's cute.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna take note of that and then find my way back.
You're just gonna be like, understandable. Just
Are
turn
you
around.
doing this stealthily, guys, or are you just looking and seeing from...
I didn't think I need to be stealthy with someone that is in our team, I guess. So I guess that would be a lot of wrestling.
Yeah, if he wants to sneak or hide, he can. I'm just gonna walk up to him.
Oh, you're gonna walk up to him? Oh, okay.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Ambrose, you hear behind you footsteps that come closer and closer and closer.
Okay. Is not gonna turn. and is just calmly going to sort of, with his back still to them, just something the matter?
What in Oblivion NPC language is that? Something the matter?
Yes. What is it?
Stop right there, criminal scum.
Yeah. It's in the middle of the forest. Yeah, stop there, criminal scum.
Stop that criminal scum. Late night snack?
Well, you know how it is. You might need more rations for the road ahead, and just casually like flashes a knife from his belt, and just acts like he was sort of like getting ready to gut this deer, I guess.
Still not looking at them, right? You still got your back to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
You took that down by yourself.
Well, it wasn't really paying attention, so you'd be surprised how easy they are to sneak up on sometimes.
Right.
Doy raises an eyebrow.
He has eyebrows?
And then just... you know? Looking at his picture, he does not, so he will not do that.
He has like little fuzzy eyebrows made of moss.
Yeah, here we go. Moss brows, yeah.
The caterpillars on the.
Oh, that's actually cute. I like that.
Little caterpillar
The
eyebrows.
caterpillar like has to like twist its body a bit.
Yeah. The caterpillar was going sideways on his face, but immediately it takes a turn to look like an eyebrow being raised. But his curiosity is sated. He's just hunting. He's getting food. Doy is ready to walk away.
Okay. Good to know you can handle yourself.
Well, you know, I figured that maybe some jerky for the big one. I don't know, what do you eat?
Rear flank for me.
All right. I'll bring it back shortly.
Alright, don't get stabbed. I'll turn away.
Yep.
Well,
And just... Yep, just...
That was
I
an
guess-
Oblivion interaction right
I
there.
guess about an hour or so later we'll return.
That really was
with
an Oblivion interaction. Oh man.
these strips of meat and a rear flank in his hand.
Doy just wanted to make sure he was okay.
Yeah.
When you get a 3 a.m. snack and it's just a whole ass deer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am concerned about that, but I am not touching it.
very well. Then with
We'll
that,
just sort of drop
eventually,
some bits of meat down and like tied it with rope and just there you go. Just goes behind a tree on the edge of the camp to go to sleep.
I'm gonna go up to Eldrith because they were our next watch.
Yep.
Whoa! What was that?
Nothing.
On the map.
I
it
saw it
just-
too. No, I saw it. Just keep
Yeah.
going.
Okay, we're gonna. Okay, sure. Oh no, the map's shrunk now. Cool. Anyway, gonna keep going. Hey, bookworm. I'm giving a light tap with my foot.
He just snaps awake. What?
Your watch.
Okay.
I will sit down close enough to the fire to keep warm.
Alright.
As you guys switch shifts, Diowan is just going to stare, and as Eldrith, unless he does something, is just going to stare at Eldrith all night.
Nice.
Does he blink?
I'm guessing he doesn't blink.
Yeah, he has to use his fingers as wipers.
Defog his eyes.
Okay. Eldrith and Syldia. Either one of you may roll a perception check to watch
It
over.
ain't gonna be me.
Okay. Do I roll with advantage? Question mark.
If Eldrith is helping, then yes.
For a while. So yeah.
Yippee!
Oh, 10.
Oh.
10.
Keep your eyes out for any other peculiarities. You're still on the shallows of the forest, so there shouldn't be anything too dangerous in the distance. But any other hints of where this keep could be are lost to the darkness. Anything that you guys would like to do over the course of your watch, yes or no?
I think you know.
Alright. Then you, from your pocket, you unravel this star map that you somehow managed to get your hands on, from whatever means it may be. And you look to it and you see various different formations and constellations waver in place.
He starts to just observe it, refer to the sky above him, turns it upside down, the other way around, observes the back of it. It still doesn't make sense, does it?
At the moment, no, not quite. But there's got to be a place somewhere where you'll be able to look at this and look at the sky, and something must match eventually. Maybe somewhere higher up, maybe somewhere further down.
He's gonna kind of gently shake it in frustration, as if that's gonna fix it, like a broken radio. Like, no dice. We'll roll it back up.
Very well. Okay.
In the last hour of the watch, Syldia will get out the stuff they use for making their tea and brew some and offer some to Eldrith.
Oh,
Nice.
bro, I'm never gonna say no. We'll just accept it. Oh, thank you.
What kind of tea you brewing, Sylvia?
Golden honey tea. As they after they brew it, they add in at the very end 2 drops of this delicious looking honey from a vial they have.
Ooh,
Sounds nice.
sounds sweet.
It is sweet and comforting. Eldrith recognized the golden glint of this honey from
Is it?
from a delicacy, shall we say, on the lands of Kelmont, from the Golden Leaf Hills.
How did you? Oh God! How did you get your hands on this?
My late husband was a tea merchant, so I know my ways of getting my various ingredients for teas.
I think I've only had this maybe once. I was quite young at the time, so I can't say I appreciate it.
It's my favorite, and I thought I'd share since you're taking this watch with me.
The sentiment is appreciated, and it is. He'll like sniff at the tea for a bit, takes another sip.
Sweet, flavorful, very almost floral as well, but very comforting and warm.
It's sweet, very sweet. Not that I dislike it.
I think it's just sweet enough.
Didn't peg you for the one who has a sweet tooth.
It's one of the things I enjoy.
Likewise. You can't go wrong with sweet things, after all. So, Syldia, you mind if I ask you why you've gone on this journey?
It's a good question. I'm looking for something, and I'll leave it at that.
You and me both, then. It's quite odd to find someone... I mean, no offense, but it's odd to find someone of your maturity just wandering about.
I've got nothing else to do.
I suppose that's fair. Retirement's not for everyone, is it? I know someone that would agree.
I think it would be too boring to just sit around all day.
And do nothing?
Exactly.
He just nods in agreement and sips away at your gift.
There you go. As you guys enjoy each other's comfort through either silence or conversation, you guys get to see the sun rise as you sip your warm, comforting tea. A beautiful, almost painter-esque picture. As you see in between the large, tall pine-like trees that create this dense forest, elegant rays of orange light that illuminate this beautiful forest. Flowers bloom and bud. The leaves themselves feel like they're singing in the rustling wind and whistles. And the trees, as well as the birds that rest upon them, sing morning songs. And you witness the morning come. Very elegant picture in Kelmont. Autumn colours begin to slowly fill the forest. Now, on the second day of travel, as you all rise and awaken, I'm assuming, Hjarlgron, you're taking lead.
Yep, I will follow the supposed sign from
Yes, I will
the young
vaguely
harp
sort
player.
of request. I'll just say, I can't really explain how, but I have a really good feeling if you could direct us in this direction, we might get somewhere.
Understandable. Stands up,
Alright,
moves in that direction that it's been pointed towards.
okay.
Alright, roll me survival with advantage
Let's go.
as you make your way towards the
22.
opening keep. Amazing.
Shit.
With a
Ooh.
pointed direction, thanks to the constellations of the Star Weaver, and someone's very keen ability to read them, you guys travel southbound, making your way through the woods. Traveling for a fair few hours, but an early morning start gets you going, as some of you begin to get to know one another's company. That was a sentence. To get to know each other's company. Eventually, the shallows of the forest no longer seem so shallow. The thickets become denser, flowers become less, and the signs of more wild animals increase. Whether that be scratches on trees and bark being broken from bears, or the trails of trailblazing bulls, or whatever the animals that may be, or whatever else lies beyond the distant thicket, is now slowly becoming more aware. But with the really good survival check, you guys make good time and find yourselves in a position of quote-unquote advantage. In the distance, you can see smoke rising beyond the thicket of the tree line. And as you guys get closer and approach, you guys manage to spot a peculiar-looking building in the distance.
Oh, cute.
From
Oh,
the,
shit.
There it do be.
from the distance,
I'm liking that, my brother. I like what you've done with Old Grim Keep. Yeah, I've opened the tactical map and
Oh.
I'm liking it. Yeah.
Redacted.
Yeah.
oh, well, for
Straight
me, it's completely filled, but for some reason, it shouldn't be. Like, it should be, it should be completely invisible. But,
We can see you drawing
Dead
that.
guy
Yeah.
next to us.
Yeah, it's been
Why can I not?
Oh.
erased.
How,
It's been erased.
how peculiar. Anyway.
It's gone.
Anyhow, no one needs to see that.
I can't even see the tactical map, man.
You guys just need to focus on the bottom half of it. Not that you're there
Okay.
yet. Not that you're there yet. Anyway, as you guys are still looking
Yep.
at this from a distance, I just put your tokens on there in advance, so
Yeah,
in case we need them. Anyway, from the tree line that you guys are at, crouched down or hiding in the distance, you begin to hear the sound of kind of movement, and in the distance, An old, broken, and weather-worn keep sits with an old soldier's pride. The watchtowers have flickering flames that can be seen between the archery windows. Tattered red banners, either tinted red or coloured with crimson blood. The symbol of hands tending to a small ember splattered across them. The cobbled, splintered wood path is decorated with dried blood forming into drag lines that lead up to the iron gate at the front of the keep, past the moat. From here, you can hear the sound of gnarling beasts, clattering iron and wood, cluttering stone, and even the loud and obnoxious conversations of goblins in the open walls in the distance. Not that you can understand, as they speak some sort of gibberish tongue.
Did you say loud?
Mm-hmm.
Can someone remind me if comprehend languages can be ritual cast?
It should say.
It doesn't say on alchemy. Like it doesn't say anything about ritual.
Hey,
so.
you've got access to the internet. Just type the spell in real quick.
Stroke!
Anyway, I'll carry on whilst you look that up. Before the keep are two small farm plots, or should I say, were two small farm plots. Now all that remains is uprooted ground, unfertile soil, burnt barns, and scattered wooden planks. The two barn-like buildings are still standing, although void of life to both the left and the right. The moat of water is stagnant, red and brown and green, and the bridge that leans over it is barely standing. On the sides of the walls you can see, like I said, the flickering lights and silhouettes of possible people within the keep, and the sound of clattering iron, either clashing of blades or people moving things can be heard from within the keep. What are you all doing?
Well, with the loud conversation of gobos, comprehend languages will be ritual cast.
Very well. Time is given to ritual cast that. In the meantime,
I'm looking for any large-ish tracks or just tracks in general, just to try and
that's a
get
good
like
point.
an
If we wanna-
accurate number of things.
Also,
If we want to find a spot where we can hide and scope out the scene, so we don't draw attention just standing in the middle of the road.
okay.
Well, we haven't entered the clearing yet. We're not
you
on the
haven't.
road.
You're not on the clearing. You guys are in a quote-unquote vantage point on the thicket at the moment.
Okay, cool.
I also
just
cast
wanna-
mage armor.
I want to get a little bit closer around the edge and then just kind of trail around, see if I can spot like tracks, anything of large or small variety.
All right.
See if I can maybe try and discern how many that there are.
Let's do a quick tracking check. So survival for me, please. Specifically,
Got
not
you,
to
Chief.
find a place, but for tracking numbers and such. Go
Yep.
for it. Nice.
So 20.
Solid 20. All right, let me get up some stats for you.
Oh jeez.
You know that from the ground nearest to you around the barns, you can see paw-printed large footsteps that are leading towards both the left and the right-hand side of the barn. These seem to be the tracks of two large beast-like creatures. You're not entirely sure what they might be. As you
Would they have been
unfamiliar.
similar to the owl bears?
No,
when it
these
was, like,
ones
trying
look
to
a
run
bit
from us?
more feline.
More feline. Okay.
Oh, feline, huh?
Feline.
Walk.
One of them leads off to the left, one of them leads off to the right, in these broken down, shattered barns and the rubble
Okay,
that remains
so-
of them. And also, there are dozens of tracks that lead from people dragging bodies. You can see the trails of blood, footsteps
Oh.
that lead in towards the actual old keep. The issue with this, even with such a high roll, is that because it's such a frequently trafficked road, it's hard to
Yeah.
tell how many numbers are actually coming in and out of the keep. But you can assume many.
Okay. I'll go
Yes.
back and I'll let them know.
Okay.
Two large creatures over there. I like point to the Barnish area, on the left and the right. I saw the smaller ones. Maybe a dozen or more. But they fall easy.
I mean, that's
from
easy
us,
enough for you to say.
Can anyone from here see if there's like goblins on the watchtowers or the walls?
You may roll me a
I can give
perception
it a look.
check. Whoever does want to do that.
You can do that.
We can do it together.
Then one of
Together.
you may roll with advantage.
As we all know, teamwork makes the dream work.
I shall roll
And
with
with
advantage.
Ambrose
Question mark.
just appears, just going, "What about up there? Any goblins up there? What about that?" And just kind of pointing at different places.
Oh wow.
Oof.
As far as you can tell, no. No idea.
To be fair, I don't want to really go in the front entrance if that's okay with everybody else.
That's a shame.
Surely there's a way around.
I'm not that good at the stealthy approach, though. Not quite my skill set.
Is the front?
What is-
The drawbridge down? And just like
The bridge is
there
it's not a drawbridge, ironically enough. At this point, the
okay.
chains that made it once a drawbridge have been shattered. The bridge is just permanently down now.
Yeah.
It's
The
just
gates
down.
at the end are also, again, open permanently, or broken open, or destroyed. It isn't open
Alright,
into the
okay.
keep.
Why don't we ward the
I-
perimeter? See if we can scope out an entrance.
But we might get seen. And this is gonna look at Eldrith. Are you still casting your spell?
I don't know.
Probably
I've
gonna go
started-
up soon, yeah.
Okay. Also, I just realized
I want-
Bren,
I
the
want to
grumpy
wait
old man,
until he's done.
said that this is a place where Dillman used to run away with his daughter. Was it? Like a place they escaped to? It was something like that. I heard it's where Dillman escaped with his daughter or something like that.
Thought he escaped from here, like through a secret
From
passage.
here. Oh, okay.
I think. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay. That's what I wrote in my session 2 as well, session 2 notes, but I guess I'll clear it up later. If it goes off, what do I understand?
Alright. After your spell goes off, all of a sudden the suddenly becomes to mangle into words that you can comprehend. And you hear off in the distance in the large open shouting and obnoxiously loud conversations of more guttural sounds than a goblin can make, much deeper voices. You hear, Mr. R isn't going to be very happy with us, is he? I told us that we'd get the idol today. Well, the search party hasn't returned yet, has it? There's not much we can fucking do about it. And then you
How do
hear
you spell that?
he said Mr. R.
Oh, Mr. R. Okay.
Mister? Oh.
Star.
And then you continue hearing what they're saying as they discuss loud as it echoes through the halls of the keep and into the open expanse. Well, doesn't look like they're going to come up to us anyway. The last two parties have been absolutely skinned to bits anyway. They can't seem to be mustering up anything that faces us. Plus, we still have big old guy in the back anyway. We could set up another attack. Thera will be here soon, and she can send us in like she did with the last lot.
Thera?
Who? Who?
Thera.
Thera.
Stera.
Thera?
Yes.
Thera.
Thera. Yes,
Thera.
Thera.
Oh, not double A. Not double R.
Now quit slacking off and start looking out for more grub. No one's gonna feed that ogre, is he?
Oh, let's go! It is an ogre! Oh!
Oh, hell yeah. Fucking suplex them. Come on. Come on, Ryan.
I'm so happy.
Did you just say an ogre?
The quieter one that seems to be taking the orders. So just, replies. Oh, alright, Gobok. Fair enough. Just make sure that we get this deal done. I don't want to be turned into ash. And then the conversation ends.
Okay, so you'll see Eldrith once he's finished casting Comprehend Languages, the astrolabe's just kind of floating in his hand again, turning gently. He's gonna turn to the closest person to him, which I'm guessing is, once again, the freak with the red glasses. Ambrose? I'm assuming it's you?
Glasses, thank you very much. They're black onyx.
Oh, they're
John
black?
Lennon.
Oh, I'm thinking about Ray again. They have red fucking glasses. It's lame. Right. Right, so you're probably closest to me, no?
Probably, yeah. Intrigued by
Probably,
the
okay.
magic.
Well, he'll turn to you. Well, it seems like I have a few names at hand, as well as information that they have an ogre.
Do I know
Yeah.
where an ogre is?
So, like, in the fort.
In the fort.
And the name?
Yeah, sure. See why not?
The names. They mentioned a Mr. R, who they have to answer to, as well as the name Thera. Seems to be the one responsible for sending them into the bank. And might also very well be responsible for the fireball, since they also mentioned they don't want to be, in their words, reduced to ash.
I see. And you say you're not too sneaky, and he looks at Syldia.
Syldia gestures to the loud, clinky chainmail they are wearing.
Aww.
And he certainly isn't. And points at Hjarlgron.
Hjarlgron stealth.
Hey, you'd be surprised.
However, the front door is open. Are they inside the fort? Or are they attacking the fort? I'm confused.
I mean, the
This
base
place looks
is
like a
theirs
shit
as
show.
far as we know.
Okay, so hear me out. I have a crazy plan. And he's gonna like
Don't say
like,
charge front gates.
lean against a tree. No, not charge the front gate. Well, not all of us will charge the front gate. You understand? Here's the plan. I can make myself look different. Now, it's only within a few limits, so a 5-foot goblinoid is a bit strange, but they are dumb as rocks, and I could pass as a strange freak of nature.
I mean, it's not that different from a hobgoblin's height.
I was about
Oh,
to say.
perfect. I'll do that then. And I could maybe take Pierce here, and we could pretend I've got him as a prisoner or something. We can sneak in. I can casually distract them with Pierce and his silly little face. And then
Whoa.
when we sort of corral the goblins away or distract them, keep their backs turned to the door, you burst in and maybe we'll get the jump on.
Right.
Anyone else
Do you
have
know
anything to
how
add?
to speak goblin?
I was about to mention that.
No, but do goblins also speak common?
Some do, but they're quite rare. Aren't
And
they?
they're definitely not going to expect an ally of theirs to be speaking common to them.
Much less
Well, if I'm
hob.
speaking it to Pierce, perhaps.
Huh?
Still,
Like in a
if you
menacing
can,
believe
though.
you can do it, and if Pierce
Like,
is
hold
willing
on.
to, then go ahead.
What tongue do goblins speak?
Uh,
D&D languages.
Gobbledygook.
Goblin speak is like really aggressive.
Goblin language is
It's their
literally
own
called
speech. Yeah, it's
gobbledygook.
its own speech.
Gobbledygook. Nice. It's really aggressive gobbledygook.
Goblin.
Our languages do not cover that. Okay, well, if anyone else has a better idea, I could be a mute.
A mute hob?
They cut out his tongue.
Yes, I could have no tongue.
Well, you know what now?
Um,
I'm curious to how this is gonna go.
Oh. Punished venom hob.
As long as Pierce is okay with this plan, then I am fine for
It
it.
doesn't have to be Pierce, it could be anyone, but I'm thinking he could get the jump on them as well from, you know, alongside me or something.
I mean, I can. So, what do you need me to do? Run it through.
Well, we'll put on some very loose rope, and you can act like I've got you as a prisoner. We go in, we distract them, maybe draw their attention, move them where we'd like them to be. You just act a little bit rebellious, maybe a little bit, you know, reluctant. Like you've been taken prisoner and you don't like it, you know, that kind of thing. Has that ever happened?
Once or twice.
Well, there you go then, you should know exactly what you're doing. And then, on a key word maybe, we will initiate the assault. If anyone else has a better idea, do tell, but I think my plan is fucking magnificent.
Alright, cool. So that gets you and me in, but what about the rest of the group? What are they gonna do? Just spring in?
They charge in through the front door and take them by surprise, jump them with their pants around their ankles.
The front door's kind of obvious, isn't it?
Is
It
there
is, but not
no
if they've
other
got their
way
back
in?
to it.
I could attempt to make a distraction, since you were talking about a distraction.
Exactly. We could. I mean, me and Pierce were going to be a distraction as well, so we could have.
Brandon?
That would really fuck up.
Yeah.
How long would it take for one of us, or like a couple of us, to circle around Old Grim Keep, to see just around the perimeter before we all decide to go tally ho, lads? And
I did suggest it earlier.
At,
Yeah.
a standard, like, normal, not caring pace, 10 minutes, stealthily, without wanting to get caught or seen by anyone, but still wanting to keep an eye out, maybe like 20 minutes, maybe less, maybe like 50.
Oh, right. I should also mention, they might have, the goblins might have mentioned that previous parties have been flayed to bits.
Ah.
Yeah. What? Gormark's
Yeah.
in 3 parties so far, and none have returned.
Well, that's only.
Yes, probably all flayed to bits.
Looking at the walls, this keep, is it, what, like you said, around 20 feet?
Yeah.
Does it feel like I could easily boost someone onto the walls?
It could be done, yeah.
You probably throw someone over the wall.
You're gonna have to toss me.
I mean, you could throw up like a lasso of
Throw a
rope,
doy.
and then we could use the rope to climb up.
Are
Throw
you
a
guys
doy up there.
okay with
Could be done,
attempting
but there
to
is a
circle?
moat around the entire side, remember? 30 feet.
Ah.
moat.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
are you guys okay with like going around the fort to see if we find any extra entrances, holes in the
I
walls,
mean,
or like?
we can do, yeah. We might as well.
Yeah, but we
should
have
do.
to
Tony,
deal with
it's-
them. The thing is,
Ah,
there's
but
the
then
moat
it's-
around the entire thing.
Yeah. But like, who knows?
Just
could
yeah. What if
easily
the
come
entire
either
backside
way.
is just open?
Yeah. What if the entire backside's just open, or like they have a separate pathway
Yeah.
on the sides, etc.
Or a pet
Let's-
dragon?
Or a pet
Yeah, that's
dragon.
true.
I have a
don't wanna
pet
get
ogre,
rid of
not a
I
pet
am-
dragon.
So if
I
we can
have
get
been known
like
to be stealthy.
info.
Just get
I have
Stealth
been known
Boy
to be
to
stealthy.
run around.
I can
Oh, there you
go
go.
have a look at the perimeter.
There you go.
Okay.
We'll just keep
if it
watch, see if any of
reaches-
those larger beasts come nearby.
Alright, if you want to
Yeah,
spend
good point.
15 or so minutes stealthing around, do so. Can you roll me stealth, please, as you do this?
Yes.
See how stealthily you are as you go around.
Fingers crossed.
24. Alright.
Very good.
Very good.
Alright. You make your way around without being seen. As you take your 15 minutes to scout around the entirety of Old Grim Keep, you notice that towards the back end, so after about 9 minutes of walking and, scouting it out, you see that past...
I'm also a wood elf, so this helps.
Notice that past the moat, towards the back end of the keep, there is a large opening into the wall. What you also notice, however, is that it leads into kind of like the open yard area. And, let's see, with my descriptions. And also, as you look into the open plaza, at the center of the keep, it appears to be the remains of what could have once been a beautiful practicing ground for soldiers, or even a garden for the rich owner that once may have lived here. However, now, through the large hole in the wall that's formed, you now see a stumbling ogre, riddled with chains and bits of rustic iron armor that's been strapped and melded to his skin around the knees, shoulders, and chest area. The ogre rumbles across the ground, leaving heavy, muddy footprints in this yard area. The floor is littered with bone carcasses picked dry of meat. Among many other instances of rubble, there are also the bodies of 2 other large-sized humanoid-like creatures similar to the ogre's build that are on the ground. However, these have been charred black to the point of no recognition, like an overcooked hog over a spit roast.
Okay.
So yes, there is an opening at the back of the Old Green Keep. Well, there appears to be an ogre, and it does lead into the backyard of the open keep.
Can I see if there's a way to dart off further into the keep? Like, if we were to go in the back door, we'd be able to find like a way to be a little bit more stealthier.
Roll me perception.
Perception. Go.
11. Not too bad.
Come on.
Looking in, it's hard to know, but it seems to be a thin wall that then leads into the open yard. It could maybe, if you get past the 30-foot width of the moat, you could possibly, the ogre is wearing some sort of metallic helmet, maybe his vision might be slightly restricted, skirt around the wall to get inside of the keep, but it's definitely a way in, but it is open plan. It is an open space. It would be hard.
Right.
But it is an alternative.
But from what I can see, big guy, burnt bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Was it just him? Like
just,
alive?
Yeah. So carcasses like licked clean, probably that he's eaten.
Cool.
And then 2 ogre-sized also silhouettes that have been charred beyond recognition. 2 of them on the ground.
Interesting. Unless this ogre can cast magic. Interesting. Okay, let's keep having a look around.
Circling the other roughly 9-ish minutes that you have left of your kind of like circling all the way around to make a full loop. The rest of it is just a moat. A couple of walls do have some damage here and there, but that is the only other back entrance that's been like carved open. The walls do seem low enough that Hjarlgron could boost someone up, but again, you're going to have to get past the 30-foot wide moat and then hope that when you get boosted up, there's not like a goblin up there or whatever. But eventually you do manage to rendezvous. In the meantime, the ones of you that were at the front, you said that you were, well, Ryan, you said that you're looking out for the beasties, so roll me a perception check for just keeping your eye out as Pierce, like, makes the full loop. With a 10, you actually, in the open notice, you do see the rubble around the left and the right barns move every now and again, maybe the silhouette of something. There must be something on these 2 barns, on the left and the right side.
Okay.
Not sure what, though. Or how many.
I'll let the party know.
Okay. But yeah, Pierce, you rendezvous with the party with that information.
Well, good news. There's another way in. There's a huge crater-sized hole in the back of the castle. However, got a bit of bad news if you want to hear it.
Go on.
There's a huge fuck-off ogre in there.
We know.
Oh, you... Okay.
Like, specifically in the... Oh, like, it's just in the...
Specifically in the open garden where they used to train soldiers. It's a big guy, chains, metal armor. Surrounding him, also a bunch of just burnt carcasses. Big, like, ogre-sized.
The ogre is not going to be there if we go in through the front.
But if that's not our entrance, that's our exit.
So we either go in through the front and there's a whole round of goblins, or we go through the back and there's an ogre. That's what you're saying.
Pretty much.
Wait,
And
did
then
the front
probably if we
entrance
deal with
not
the big-
lead to the main courtyard?
Well,
Not
the main entrance, from what you can tell, doesn't seem to lead to the courtyard. It like opens up into some sort of hallway that leads left and right into the main building.
I see.
You don't suppose? Who has the... Did somebody pick up the cape from goblins we already, you know...
I think we ended up saying that no one did.
Damn it.
I think we ended up saying it got
one.
burnt.
Well,
If you need, I can just appear to have it on.
I was gonna say.
I mean, if you do that, if these goblins are well-to-do and probably in cahoots with other people, we could probably go with the captive idea, and then you just play the part of a cultist. Who's just like,
I
hey,
can do.
got
Give
a
them
guy
no
who was
name.
snooping around. Yeah, what was it? Thera...
Mr. R and Thera. And I can say I was sent maybe for a little bit of organization. Something of the sort. The only problem is if one of them is actually there. Then
I
what?
think they are, because the way the goblins were speaking, they were quite fearful of, one, being reduced to ash, and facing this Mr. R.
Right, but that implies he's probably not immediately there. He could be somewhere else.
Well, yeah, you can say that you caught me snooping around, like trying to look into the place. You've already had experience. Or you'd be just like, hey guys, remember those adventurers last time? Like they were snooping around. Haha, that was pretty funny. Be jovial.
I mean, they're pretty stupid. I could just. They'll probably believe whatever I tell them as long as it's vaguely connected to half truths.
I mean, I
And
was snooping
violent.
around, so.
Exactly, and just here to oversee the upkeep of the fort sent by Mr. R or something of the sort. And just on my way in, I caught this little rabble rouser snoop, something like that.
Yep. And then if you put me in the hole, I'd bust my way out. Or, not to be grim, but unless they stab me on the spot, which I wouldn't enjoy.
Oh well, if
Did
I was
anyone-
higher up, I was told it not to.
Did anyone take the statuette, by the way?
Oh, I've got it on me. Probably shouldn't bring it in.
Yeah, they mentioned they wanted that thing. Specifically.
I'll have a look around here. Is there a place to just stow it?
The woodland.
The woodland.
Put it in that bush.
I mean,
And then we'll never see it ever again. Just bring it
I was
with.
gonna say, can just give it to anyone else who's not gonna
Yeah,
be
hold on to it.
instantly
Hey.
dragged in first.
Hey, Auntie. I'm gonna talk to, Syldia.
I'm not your aunt.
Sign of respect. Yeah, hold this.
Sure. It's funny you say it's sign of respect when you don't even say please. Yeah, Syldia will take it though.
We respect that.
Right. So, how well versed are you in BDSM? Or am I generous?
Yeah, I can do that easy.
Good man.
So what's the plan?
So I believe.
So
gonna
we're
be
playing
disguised as a
captive.
smarmy cultist, and go in there with Pierce as a captive, distract them so that they've got their backs turned to the entrance, and everyone else is going to bust in. Is that what we're going for?
Sure.
Very well.
If things get hairy, or
Best thing we've got, I think.
do we have a way to signal? We should come up with a signal.
I have a spell called Flare, of which I can just shoot, but that would require me to be in there.
It would.
I mean, taking 2 prisoners.
I could take in 2 prisoners, yes.
A ruffian and a spellcaster.
Yes, that works.
I mean, that is probably the scouting party that one would find. I mean, if it's a group of adventurers, of course.
Well, there's that, or I can just shout very loud, so it's up to you.
How loud can you shout? Don't do it now.
You could just yell. I'm not quite comfortable being up in front.
Just screamed.
Also, do we know if
I-
ogres can chuck goblins?
You don't know.
Maybe.
There are tales of such a thing, but who knows?
Who
But
knows?
My biggest fear of running into the front is the fight starts and the ogre in the back just goes, "Oh, goblin in," and we're just
But the ogre won't.
Go,
The ogre won't be
goblin!
there, right? The ogre's in a different part. We're gonna
Yeah, it's in the
clear
main
woods
courtyard.
first. Like, I'm in the walls. I don't.
So, Ambrose, are
And
you...
if he's a big boy, then he probably can't fit through the tiny thing without squeezing.
Are you disguise selfing or just walking up with them? What's the...
Yes, so I'm going to cast Disguise Self, I suppose.
Very well.
Let's see, occultist. So, I'm going to be a 6 and a bit foot tall, very slender looking dude with like a pale, very thin, gaunt face and greased back black hair. Clean shaven and with the black cloak with the picture of the there's like a flame being cradled by 2 hands, is it?
Yes.
On the back of it, and all black robes with the hood down. All
Trying to
sort
turn
of
into a
like the
small
edgy
flame.
black, like a leather armor and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, of course, the full shebang.
Full
Yeah,
shebang, all the edgy looking, the typical cultist shit.
All right. And
I
I'm
guess-
taking piercing.
We're gonna tie Pierce's arms behind his back very loosely.
Okay.
So a simple tug would
Yeah.
just.
Get you. Okay.
And are we taking Eldrith as well? Is Eldrith coming?
I think you said he wanted to stay.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's.
I mean, if they can-
I'm not risking that.
Okay. Very well.
Trying to think of like.
So what's the story?
We'll
As we're walking. We're improvising. Great. My forte.
You just
Rolls
mostly
eyes.
keep your mouth shut. Maybe calmly play it. Don't play it up too much. It'll be too funny. But give me a bit of.
I'm
shit
not an
talk,
actor.
and I'll maybe give you a bit of shit talk back. Things like that.
Why do I have a feeling the ogre's just gonna bust through the wall?
Fresh
fucking-
meat.
Oh shit!
No, I
Ah,
don't think
fuck
it
it.
was. It was chained up.
It's the Kool-Aid ogre.
It
Yeah,
wasn't
it's
changed up.
cool.
It was wrapped in change, correct?
Well, yeah, it's got chains around its ankles that it's like dragging around.
Yeah, that's
I'm
what I thought.
guessing yeah, I'm guessing
So
it's
at one
chained,
point it
just-
was chained up.
Could still be, may not already be. Who knows?
Free.
Okay, cool.
Maybe the chains are cut and they just coiled around his legs.
So just
Yeah.
to be clear, we didn't see the end of the chain.
No.
Is the issue,
To
right?
be clear.
We did not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
So he's either chained directly like to the courtyard, and like kept there as guard ogre.
Or he's just a
God,
hard
I guess.
motherfucker.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
literally
the chains are
busted
like
out.
it's leg armor. It's the leg padding.
Very well.
It's like Kratos'
Either way.
chain. Either way, let's go get Pierce killed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yippee!
Well, as you cast Disguise Self and turn yourself into the silhouette and begin wandering to the front of the old Grim Keep, that's where we're going to leave it for today's session.
Oh boy.
Ah!
You can't do this!
I can.
No!
I can.
No!
do this.
This is fucked up, man.
We'll have to
It's
find
fucked
out.
up, bro.
We'll have to find out what happens to our friends and this plan next session.
Level up, XP, XP.
Yeah, if you guys do level up to level 3, you might need it for this for the
Oh.
next fight. So,
Might-
Oh, damn.
Okay.
yeah, you guys reach level 3. It is the end of session 2. We do obviously as usual. Session 1 is level 1. Session 2 to level 3. So
Session 3 into level
Okay.
13. Right.
no, and then past
No,
that
it's-
point.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, I
yeah,
rolled a
yeah,
5 again.
Past that point, it slows down now that you guys reach level 3. You guys will actually have to start doing actual things to level up.
Damn.
Actual
XP to
thing.
level
Like
3.
clearing out this keep.
Alright, so,
Yeah.
anyone that wants to roll your hit dice, go for it. Syldia rocking a 5, Hjarlgron another 9.
And last one was a
Big,
10.
huge
Oh,
even.
yeah, it was a 10.
Take it. I'll
Got
take it.
nice.
So we're at,
forgotten what my fucking hit
We
dice
have
is.
the tank.
It's a D8.
The fuck
I've
is a
got
wizard's hit dice
a-
again?
Oi.
6.
D6.
Jesus.
Or you can take average.
Okay.
Obviously.
I should have taken average. I've rolled 2 5s. This is awful.
Plus 4.
That's 4. Wow.
I'm rolling average fucking wizard HP.
No!
Oh
I
my
got
god.
zero.
Don't worry.
I got 0.
Is it forward slash?
That's-
I don't think
backslash?
you.
What's
I
the
don't
command?
think you subtract from your HP
Why would you not?
that you gain. I don't think your Constitution being a negative would subtract how much total.
Yeah, it
HP
does.
It does. That's
It
Well, yeah,
it
why would it
does.
not?
actually
That's
does.
literally the whole point.
Yeah,
That
if you're
is
not healthy, then you
balls.
lose.
That's wild.
So, Doi gains plus 0 hit points.
Shit.
What
That's
the
fucking
fuck?
hilarious.
Brutal,
This
brutal,
Doi
Good
brutal.
boy.
Oh.
Alright, well, We'll deal with the siege on Orgrim Keep next session and whatever may come from it as we slowly find out more about this weird sacred flame cult. Alright. Yeah, until next session, which will be hopefully next week. We'll see. We'll try and organize and see what we can do.
Fucking hate it here.
Well, I think that the siege on Orgrim Keep is going to probably be an hour to 2 hours, so
Yeah.
can't really run it now. So we'll see how it goes, and yeah, we'll sort that out next session. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week. Until then,
Thank
have a
you,
beautiful one.
Brandon.
Let's go.
Bye.
Beautiful Christmas, everybody.
Yes,
Merry
everyone have a
Christmas.
great Christmas.
Merry
Happy
Christmas.
holidays. All that.
Christmas!